Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Stats Norsworthy.
Happy Hump Day and welcome in to Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. We're always live from the Family Leisure Studios in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. I am former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn on Twitter at G_Kuhn71. Producing the program on the ones and twos is our man Bryant Dacus on Twitter at Bryant_Dacus. Bryant, what's happening?
Hey, Gabe.
Hey, man.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all I
okay,
got.
rock on. And my partner does pre and post for the Ole Miss Football Radio Network. He is Brett Stats Norsworthy on Twitter at Brett Norsworthy. Brett, how are you?
I'm great, Gabe. We know what Bryant was doing. He was studying those golf picks, trying to sit on that lead and ride it out to a victory.
Yeah, he's got a pretty substantial lead. It doesn't mean he can't give it up, but I think he feels pretty good about himself.
He could flip this week.
Yeah. Golf pick day. Brian, are you ready for golf picks? Is that your sort of time to shine? You got them all ready to go?
They're in here, yeah.
Okay.
In this big old
right there, loaded.
I think you owe me for that
thing.
1 week where I gave you JT Poston.
You
want
didn't
to
give me
your
JT Poston?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I sure did.
Okay.
We can argue about it all day. Hey, Brett, are we gonna Mega Millions? Nobody won the $830 million jackpot. It went up to 1.2. We're at 1.2 billion. So we get one.
Right, isn't it?
We going to get one?
Getting one. Bad grammar alert. Done got.
Done been God. I hear you. What
I
numbers?
know, Brian,
What numbers? Since you already bought it.
Your mother being an English teacher, I know she didn't like that. I'm sorry. I know better.
Do you do the same numbers every time? I've never actually bought a Mega Millions ticket.
No, I let the machine pick them.
Oh, really?
I let the machine. Yeah, it just flies wherever it flies.
Oh, it's kind of lame, isn't it? You got to go with your lucky numbers.
What? I'm
Do you
not
have
that
any?
Superstitious.
You're only a little bit superstitious.
I'd go Cardinals retired numbers then. I'd go 1 for Ozzie, 2 for Red.
You don't do like
4
family birthdays or favorite number. I'll probably do like my number growing
What's it
up,
got?
70, 71.
What have you won with it?
A little bit of roulette maybe here and there.
Okay.
Nothing. I've never, like I said, I've never bought a lottery ticket. Never have.
Never really.
Not once.
Yeah, I got one this morning about 10 o'clock
I
or so.
feel like I have to, though. I feel like I have to now.
Pot is right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, you
What's
talking
the
about
highest
getting in
it's
good
gotten
shape.
to? Somewhere.
I think one of them won at about 1.4 one time.
We're close.
To one winner.
We're really close.
All right. And let's throw this open at the AutoZone text line. 901-360-8255. If you won, would you keep it quiet or would you go public with it?
Well, you have to let the direct deposit has to hit before I go public with it.
Because I'm pretty sure I know in Arkansas that you can keep your identity secret that you were the winner. Some states you have to go public.
Yeah,
and they have the big press conference and serenade the winner.
Or you could ask the question, what would you do with it? Which honestly I don't want to know what most of our listeners would do with it. That's too much money.
Well, we know what everybody would do with it.
What?
We know.
What is it? What would they do?
Buy a big car, buy a big house, and go to Vegas and go on a bender for about 15 days. And
15 days.
I mean, we know all that. I mean that
15 days.
People give to charity and give to St. Jude and give to Le Bonheur and give to your church. Everybody's going to say that.
Rock on.
But would you go public? Would you want and who in Memphis would you give your first sit down interview that after taxes you would have about $500 million? Who would you want to give it to? I hope you would give it to us. Yeah. Come on with us. We'll put you on.
We'll help out. Come on. I hear you. But no, my answer to that though, Brett, I'd be private until the direct deposit hit. Then I may go public.
I wouldn't tell one soul after in a year. I wouldn't tell a soul.
You don't want anybody pestering you. That's the biggest thing.
Not even that. I think you would tell some things which had changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you move? Would you get a big house? Would you?
No, I'm pretty comfortable.
What would be your first purchase?
Yeah, probably buy me a condo there at Ballpark Village.
Oh, nice.
At One Cardinal Way.
At One Cardinal Way, you'd get the penthouse. You'd have to go to the very top, huh?
No, I wouldn't want to be
Oh, you
too
thought-
ostentatious.
Look how humble Brett is. Isn't this wild? Humble
You
Brett.
do you, Brett.
I would get the, you know, if you're going to go big at One Cardinal Way, you better go big. Better stop. You better buy green seats, season tickets in the green seats. Get that
Yeah,
free
I want air
food.
conditioning too.
Well, they have air conditioning in there. You can go inside.
Yeah, but you got to get up and go back to that back area.
Have you sat in the green seats?
Oh yeah.
Of course you have. Of course he has. Of course he has. Now, first hour of our show is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis, the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis. A lot to get to today. Besides the Mega Millions going to $1.2 billion.
I'd buy me a big box at Ole Miss games, I'd want that. I'd want that box. I know there are great end
They
zone
make
box
you buy
seats.
it. They can't just give you one. They can't just give you a lifetime one.
Well, I'd want
You'd
to
want-
contribute.
okay.
I'd want to give a good donation.
Yeah. You know what you could do? $150 million, $200 million to Liberty Stadium. Come on, throw it that way.
Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
Yeah, throw it at them so we can get these
I would.
get these renovations.
I guarantee you I would.
Yeah. But we have a bunch
I've
to
had
get to
season
today.
tickets in the past for Tigers. I had season tickets most of the late 90s.
Nice. Bunch to get to today, though. Big Ten Media Days rolling along. Ryan Day spoke today and made some interesting comments about last year's 11-2 Rose Bowl winning season. That we're going to have to talk about these comments. He's not a very happy guy. He's kind of a curmudgeon about it.
Used to winning a Rose Bowl carried you from January 1 to August 10th.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to care about it at all. And we'll talk about his comments. NFL training camp news. Notes are coming in hot and heavy. Michael Thomas finally returns to the field with the Saints after being on the physically unable to perform list last year. Matt Corral, we sort of mentioned this yesterday, but we didn't get to talk about it. He made some interesting comments about his decision to attend Ole Miss. We have some sound for that we'll get to later in the show around 4:30. Major League Baseball, Game 1 of the Subway Series goes to the Mets. Yankees are just struggling, by the way. Yankees in July, I'll go over the numbers.
Poor old scuffling 64-win team.
Yeah, but when we get to some baseball talk later, I'm going to have to tell you some of the stats about their July. Not great. Bryant Snitker meets a career milestone last night. 500 wins for him in his career. Good job for Snit. Also, Juan Soto to the Cardinals will be discussed because we just have to. You know, trade deadline August 2nd, and Brett and I are going to put on our homer hats for the Cardinals. But this time we do have a potential package that the Cards could offer that we'll talk about. Also, way back Wednesday today, we bring together the generations. Brett says I should go 4 for 4. Can you give me like a hint of what the topics will be?
Oh, it's everywhere. It is.
But you say I should go 4 for 4. I think that's.
It's way back SEC question. It is pop culture, popular beverages question.
Okay.
And in these pandemia times, it is a disease question. How about that?
Well, by the way, polio's
That'll
back.
put everybody in a great mood on a Wednesday. A good old disease question.
Yellow fever.
By the way, polio's back, guys. We knew about this, right?
Polio never left.
It's back. Like people
Well, it's
are
not-
catching polio. People
Not
have
back
polio.
like President Roosevelt had it, but yeah.
No, but people have it. I thought.
Well, sure.
Yeah, I guess some people that don't get the vaccine though, obviously.
Well, sure. And all this, I mean, they now think COVID-19 was in Italy in June of 2019.
That's wild. That's wild. Also, monkeypox is in Shelby County.
Also got a Tiger football question for
there
you.
we go. Okay, I should get that one. I better get that one.
I do not have a monkeypox question, but I do have a disease question. What a great topic. That'll make everybody tune in. Let's hear the sports guys talk diseases.
Monkeypox is in Shelby County.
Something worse than jock
Y'all
itch.
saw that? Y'all
Yeah.
saw?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I was asking some of my doctor friends about monkeypox. They said if you catch it, if you've had chicken pox, it shouldn't be all that big of a deal. But obviously for people that
I don't think I've ever had chicken pox.
really,
I've had shingles, but I don't think I've had
you
chicken
know,
pox.
the big thing.
You've
when I-
had shingles?
Yeah, when I was a toddler.
I've never heard of a tot having
that's
it.
scary.
It's very
when you're-
rare,
when
yeah.
you're a kid.
Oh, my mother had them. It was awful. I got a shingles vaccine a few years ago. A, it was expensive. B, that thing hurt going in. That was some medicine going in. And now I'm told what I got is not even good, and I got to go get another one.
So you've never had chicken pox though,
I don't think so.
Brett? You had it probably as a kid, right?
I don't remember having it, but I think I did.
remember my brother got it, and they put my parents put us in the same room so everybody caught. That's the whole
yeah.
idea. You put everybody in the same room so they can kiss it.
Yeah, and that's the best way to
I've
do
heard of
it.
full neighborhoods doing that, by the way. One kid gets it, and they just have all the kids play out in the backyard.
Same for strep throat.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in 10th grade,
Strep throat.
every
strep
person.
Throat, you can catch strep throat regardless. Why would you? I would keep strep throat's not a one-time.
It went through my whole class in 10th grade.
Oh,
there were
okay.
40 of us out.
No, you don't purposefully give each other strep throat, though.
No. It's that post.
That's what I'm talking about. I've heard of that with chicken pox. That was sort of the thing. It's like you
but I
purposefully
also
so
have
you get
heard
it out of the
that
way.
if you've ever had the shingles vaccine, you're set for chicken pox. You won't get, but no is an immunologist, am I?
Also, guest-wise, 3:30, Alex Kuhn joins us from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids to talk about Big Ten football, Big Ten Media Days, 4 o'clock. I guess it'll be Brian's time to shine. We're going to make golf picks. We'll have some golf
That's what
talk
we call it.
with our man John Goen from Timber Trust. And then at 5 o'clock, we talk some Cardinals, some baseball, some MLB with our man from KMOX, Kevin Wheeler. AutoZone listener line is 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also watch us live and message us on our socials, Sports56 WHBQ, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and go to sports56whbq.com. We have the podcasts up and running, and we have featured audio up there as well. Now, AAC Media Day is tomorrow. So Ryan Silverfield, Zay Collins, Quindell Johnson, it'll be all remote. No more clam bake. No more going up to the Northeast to have AAC Media Days. But the question keeps coming up, Brett. How important is this year for Tiger football? And, if you talk to Ryan Silverfield, he'll say it's the next one. So it's important because of that. But to me, it's much more than that. And to most people, it's a lot more than that as well, with the realignment discussion that is upon us. Now, I think a lot of people are going a little farther overboard than I'm willing to go when it comes to realignment, because I don't think a 10-win season this year is the end-all, be-all for conference expansion. I don't think that just immediately puts you over the top. But I think it's important because
Sure wouldn't hurt.
Look at this program. Yeah, of course it wouldn't. But look at this program, 2014 to 2020. Consistent, unmatched, unmitigated, full success. 3 unbelievable quarterbacks in a row. Paxton Lynch, Riley Ferguson, Brady White. 2 unbelievable hires in a row. And Justin Fuente and Mike Norvell. It's been a straight build up for the program. And last year, for the first time in a long, long time, it was a step down. So the question becomes, where do you go from here? Do you stay on that same track that's been paved, or do you fall back down to earth? If you fall down, you plant that seed of doubt. That's sort of the truth of it. If you lift back up, which I believe will be the case with what we've seen in this offseason, you show that it's institutional to be successful at Memphis in the sport of football.
That is so well said and so true, Gabe. You're right. Last year was a hiccup, I think, a blip. The second year of 2 very stormy years for Coach Silverfield. I think he'll be fine in year 3. We're not close to letting our W's and L's go,
right.
But you know that I am big on the Tigers. I can tell everybody now. My battle right now for the Tigers is deciding on 8 or 9 wins. That is where I am on Tiger football. Gabe, I am not. I promise you. I'm not trying to be provocative. I'm not trying to pit anybody against anybody with this next comment. It just seems to me like some can be very myopic, very exact with Ryan Silverfield, but at the same time, just super patient with Penny.
But I think there's faction of each sort of fan base, basketball and football, that feel differently.
I do too. I do too. But
some people tell you it's the opposite.
Opposite being
that people have been a little not impatient with Penny, but people are quick to turn on Penny in regards to his early season struggles that he's had since he's been at the University of Memphis.
Yeah, I think there's been some of that, but I think this year is going to be good, and we know that winning. Look what you just recited, that 14 through 20 run.
Yep.
That's gotten the Tigers in this conversation.
And here's the thing, like normal average programs will have years of 5 years where they're up and then they'll sort of lay dormant. Good programs will have 10 years up. They'll lay dormant for a few years, get back up. Great programs stay up. Great programs continually go to bowl games, and that's what it's been since 2014. Bowl game after bowl game after bowl game, 8 wins, after 10 wins, 11 wins, 12 wins. That's what it's been, and you want to stay on top of that mountain, basically. And being 6-6 last year, you know, it was a different outlook. And I think also
and you saw changes made.
The other important thing too, the reason this year's important, attendance was a tad bit down last year, and I think there's some people turned away right this second. You have to raise it back up. All revenue at this point is good revenue because you have to get the stadium upgrades in. And I don't know when $150 million to $200 million is not easy to raise. So a good program, getting butts in the seats, getting people interested or back interested into the product will get people to fork over some money. Now, last year, I think it's – and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Brett. I think it's like too easy, and it lacks nuance when people just say, you know, it was a 6-6 year. And, yes, in the end of the day, it was a 6-6 year. It was not what you expect. But, man, that could have been 8-4, 9-3 just as easily. Special teams, turnovers, decision-making.
That dang Texas-San Antonio game, Gabe, it really did something.
How about the ECU game? How about the –
True. But you could have been building off that Mississippi State win, have that big lead in the third quarter, and then that fourth quarter happens against a really good team. I wish people would remember that. I think most do. Have that happen, and that kind of stuck – the straight pin into the balloon, and it took a lot of air out, and we were still coming out of COVID, a little doubtful about crowds and such and things like that, and everybody just kind of went to their own corners.
Well, 4 of 6 losses last year were by a score or less, and that's the truth of it.
Right there.
And then there was one game where you didn't even have your starting quarterback. You didn't have a quarterback in there. You had Peter Parrish trying to sort of will his way into being a college quarterback while the game's going on at UCF, which is tough to do. And like, look at the games they won. Mississippi State, that was a big win. That was one of the more talented teams on their schedule. SMU, one of the more talented teams on their schedule. It was less about being
wow when at Arkansas State.
But the 6-6 record was less about being average to below average and more about being inconsistent to me. And with age, another year for Seth Hennigan, I feel like that could fix itself. Every week has to be that same focus, and there's no way of explaining, in my opinion, beating State, losing to Temple, beating SMU, losing to Tulsa, right? There's no way to quite explain that. And I really think that this year could be back building in the right direction.
I do too, and that's why my baseline's 8, and I'm deciding whether to go to 9. So, spoiler alert, when we pick the Tigers, it's going to be a lot of wins, in my opinion. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis. That's one place I'll go immediately after I hit that big $1 billion, and I get the $500,000 my part. I'll head to Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, but you don't have to be a billionaire to go there. You can go there right now. Go online at lexusofmemphis.com and see all the deals that you can get today without winning the Mega Millions. Call them at 901-334-9673. Great offers on all 2022 models and always special leasing options. Price range for everyone at Lexus of Memphis. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at the one and only Lexus dealership in town. That's at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2022 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. Online at lexusofmemphis.com, 901-334-9673. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
And that's sort of out of Big Ten media days. And this was not discussed at the podium, but this was discussed off the podium. And it's a report by Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports. And Dennis Dodd is reporting the Big Ten is targeting Cal, Stanford, Oregon, and Washington in further expansion, if that does indeed come. If you'll remember back to 2 days ago.
20.
If you'll remember back to 2 days ago, Kevin Warren says it's got to be the right time, right price, the whole right situation for them to expand again. We'll see when that comes. But the Big Ten is hoping to roll out and announce a new TV deal before the season actually gets here, which should be in the $1.1 billion range. With these four teams, four schools, Dennis Dodd is reporting that a lot of people think that could add $250 million more to a potential TV deal. So the assumption is that this is not immediately going to happen. These four teams, Cal, Stanford, Oregon, and Washington, it's more so looking into the future, but they certainly think that it could happen, and it could be very big for a TV deal, a potential TV deal for the Big Ten.
And adding Cal and Stanford gets the governor and political figures in California off your back, so that might help with some PR. Speaking of PR, my top story, what a wild summer of 2021 and 22 that Kevin Warren, the commissioner of the Big Ten, that he's had. Summer of 2022, and now he's almost through the full PR rehabilitation. Summer of 2020, and I'll never forgive or forget, he tried to wreck college football. He was going to listen to the Ivy League, broke away from all I'm told from an agreement he had with Greg Sankey, and football was not going to happen in 2020. Then last summer, he was chief accuser, accusing the SEC of being corporate raiders. He was almost like a petulant child last summer. Now this summer, he's Mr. Aggressive. He's adding teams, and he's not done yet. And his PR rehabilitation, it's almost complete. It's been a good comeback for him.
The second part of that, I'm with you. I think he cast aspersions when in reality he was on the same time. He was trying to do the same thing. The first part of that,
and they're all doing it.
I'm sorry, when you say he tried to wreck college football, I just adamantly disagree with that. I don't think he was trying to wreck college football. I think it was a time of uncertainty that people didn't know about, and maybe he made the wrong decision. You look in hindsight, certainly it was the wrong decision.
Well, he did.
But it's really, really tough. It was a tough time, and like I see a lot of people still holding that over his head, and I just feel like that continues to be relatively unfair.
SEC and ACC did it quite easily.
Not top
Big 12
story
did it.
of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
how come he couldn't?
We'll agree to disagree on that. It was
what he know he did. What he know the others didn't know.
It's a tough time. It was a tough time, and he was looking. He was trying to talk to people in his corner, and there were doctors in his corner telling him certain things, and he was trying to take their advice.
They were all listening to the same doctors.
Not top story of the day though. Live Golf. Obviously, we know about the new circuit. They have eight different things that they've done this year. 8 different stops in this tournament schedule. They have announced, though, coming next year, they're going to have 48 players, 12 different established teams competing for $405 million in total prize purses, but they're going to have 14 tournaments. The dates and locations are still are going to be revealed at a later date, but they're going to have it in the North, Latin Americas, Asia, Australia, Middle East, Europe. They're trying to make it a worldwide situation and calendar. And the one thing they've said that they're trying to stick by, and we'll see what the majors have to say about this and about people that are competing on LIV, but they are not trying to compete with golf's 4 majors. And they say they want the best players in the game to be able to make their own choices about where to play, and we'll see what the majors decide to do with that.
Boy, we are in simpatico today. My not top story, it's Live Golf. And they know the weekly news game and the rollout, don't they? And they're playing it well. You know they've got an army of good PR people, and it's every week, usually on about a Wednesday, when everybody else on the PGA Tour is assembling at that week's PGA Tour stop, like this week in Detroit. Live breaks news, whether it's player announcements, dates, expanded 2023 schedule like today. They're working the PR game, and they're working it well. And it's the big 3 of meanies kind of as the poster people for the LIV. Well, one of the big meanies of all time, Greg Norman, he waited and bided his time 30 years to strike at the PGA Tour. He's been trying to do this, and he finally found the best sugar daddy of all time, the royal family, that Forbes can't even quantify their true net worth. They think it's somewhere in the trillions for the royal family. They don't even, nobody can really know what they're worth. The next big meanie, Phil Mickelson, and his comments, and now where they're going to be this week at their stop, and for another event, one of the biggest meanies of all time, Donald Trump. They have the trio of big 3 meanies, And Trump's mad over losing the PGA over at the end of his presidency. And Norman and Mickelson are mad, and they're well-financed. And they all want blood.
Yeah. Charles Barkley participated in the Live Pro-Am today. So that's kind of funny. Know what's hilarious, too, about
He's
Live?
not a meanie.
Know what's hilarious about Live is it has completely blocked off the fact that we have Charles Barkley playing at Trump National in New Jersey, which would normally be like at the top of everyone's discussion points on social media and Twitter and everything else.
And seriously, Gabe, what if the lovable basketball ambassador, what if he took that heel, that's what the kids call it, right? And he became one of the big four meanies.
Well, I don't think he's a meanie. I think for him, he's made it very clear his intentions. If they offer him enough money, he's willing to step away. I think he makes $20 million a year from TNT. If Liv offers him more than that, I think he'd be willing to listen. And I think he has said
no public backlash?
I think there'd be public backlash, but at the same time, I think he's made his intentions well stated at this point.
I wonder how he would like that,
I know,
though.
but I tend to agree with you. I think people would try to label him that meanie. I agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mean girls turned into mean boys.
But he says he needs an offer, though. He has said he needs an offer by the end of business today. Once he gets off the course.
And he's ready to deal.
What do you think?
Just tack some zeros on that check.
What do you think that number is that he leaves TNT for?
Double.
Well, so he makes 10 from TNT, I think 10 from endorsements.
40 will catch it.
40. That'd be wildly interesting.
Now what's the Mega Millions right now? 1 point what?
1.2.
Just give me the 2 and we'll call it even.
I hear you. That'll do it for
Be
top.
good to go.
And not top story of the day. Now, we have a bunch to get to on the show, and you should hit us up the entire time. AutoZone listener line is 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also message us on our social, Sports 56 WHBQ, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Coming up next, we have some Big Ten Media Days. We're going to do that. We're going to talk with our man from Cedar Rapids, from KGYM Radio, my brother, Alex Kuhn.
You have opinions?
Well, you gotta have an opinion.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Now that the warmer weather has arrived,
let Choate's perform their $99 20-point AC tune-up
to get your AC ready for the hot summer months ahead. Also, Choate's is offering our half-off 1 pound of Freon coupon on our website for you to use. Does your HVAC system need to be replaced? If so, right now is an excellent time to take advantage of Carrier's 60 months, no-interest financing on select systems. Want to improve your indoor air quality? Choate's is also offering our new Abco air purifier for $100 off when you get your air ducts cleaned. UV technology sterilizes biological contaminants and neutralizes odors and toxic VOCs. Match that technology with getting your air ducts cleaned, and you'll have the indoor air quality your family needs. Better call 347-8086 today. These specials won't last long. Turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
Hey, Jeff Allen, could things get any hotter in Memphis? Summer's here and I'm ready for a road trip.
Then come see me at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, where the deals are hotter than the weather. 2022 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, and a 2023 Kia Soul LX, $248 a month. Both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing.
Hey, Jeff, I got to bring the family.
You need 3 rows and 7-passenger seating. 2022 Kia Sorento LX, $339, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 per year, 26 excess mileage, 0 security deposit, Forte NE 492,084, MSRP 21,065, Soul P718,7730, MSRP 21,720, Sorrento NG 137,060, MSRP 32,595. Include all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Kia. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/1/22. Dealer stock only.
Got chronic joint pain?
Not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well, thankfully, there's a better way. And it's now available here from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hi, this is Greg Gaston. I'm talking about new therapies, advanced all-natural biologics, regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in precision regenerative medicine with over 100 clinics across America and literally thousands of satisfied patients. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy options that can change your life. Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation with local medical professionals. Call 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. QC Kinetics, 901-445-1010.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hilltop Wine and Spirits, 7034 Highway 64 in Oakland, has the best prices on hundreds of your favorite brands of wine, beer, and spirits. Not sure how things taste? That's why there's a tasting room. Enjoy taste testing wine, spirits, beers, craft beers, even after dinner drinks. You have all kinds of special occasions coming up, and Hilltop Wine and Spirits can help you make those occasions memorable. You got a corporate event, a reception, an anniversary, or just a birthday with friends. Find the best selection and prices at Hilltop Wine and Spirits, 7034 Highway 64 in Oakland. Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect machine. It's really a miracle of evolution.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
I don't want to die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me.
Back in on Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I am Gabe. He is Stats, and joining us via the AutoZone phone line is Alex Kuhn on Twitter at AlexKuhn523 from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids. Does the Todd Brommelkamp show with Alex Kuhn 4 to 6 every day there. Alex, what's happening?
Not a whole lot, guys. What's going on with you?
Man, hanging it. What do you mean there's not a whole lot going on? We got
a lot
media
going
days
on.
rolling. We got plenty going on. What's up?
All right, Alex, I'm gonna go there. Don't give me the best team. Don't even give me the second best team. Give me the third best team in the Big Ten.
Ooh, the third best team in the Big Ten. Whew. So Ohio State, right?
Michigan. Go on.
Yeah.
By default. Come on.
I'll go ahead.
It gets
and I will
fun
say
then.
Wisconsin. You know
I'm
what?
with
Wisconsin might be the second. Give me Michigan.
You know, that's I brought up
good answer.
You know what? That's interesting, Al. I brought up Wisconsin as maybe 2A, 2B with Michigan.
That schedule for Wisconsin and Michigan, they both can get a lot of confidence really early. Alex, are we giving Notre Dame no shot at the horseshoe against Ohio State?
I'm not.
None.
When I hear Ryan Day come out and say, all right, well, we think we're going to have a top 10 defense this year. I like Ohio State in that game. Notre Dame, I think, is a very solid team, but I've seen this movie before with Ohio State and a very hungry Ohio State team, and I think that a big year is in store in Columbus, and I've felt like that pretty much the entire offseason.
I honestly feel like it's almost easier to pick Ohio State at the top of the Big Ten than it is to pick Bama at the top of the SEC.
Because Georgia is a team that you could see carrying over the success that they've had more than you can see Michigan doing what they did,
right?
Replicating what they did last year.
Right.
I think that Georgia is very much on the precipice with the way that they have recruited of getting into that elite category with the likes of Alabama and where Ohio State is and where Clemson has been. Georgia can kind of take the reins from Clemson, with Clemson possibly backsliding a little bit. They'll be good. Maybe they'll be 10-2, 9-3 every year, but Georgia is just, they're recruiting at a different level right now, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon.
Now, holler at me about your sort of hometown team and what Kirk Ferentz said yesterday. He said college football is in a precarious place. It needs an intervention. And then he said his bigger concern about who's actually going to take the reins of this thing. He has no idea who's going to do that. What did you think about his comments and what he said?
No, I think that for a lot of people who, and for Kirk Ferentz especially, the game is threatening to go away from what he believes.
Yep.
And we've got to understand that college football has been a certain way for a long time, and Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa. This is his 24th year.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing you have to understand about Kirk Ferentz is his philosophy is very simple. There is nobody more important than the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that he really, for better or for worse, he's gotten in trouble at times for this, but this is what he holds on to, is he brings in players, and he gets scared of the player that's kind of the highly recruited brand. And when we were discussing name, image, and likeness, his idea was everybody kind of gets the same thing. He wants one uniform way of doing things. And with the way that college football is going with athletes being paid right now, of course, that is terrifying to someone like Kirk Ferentz. And the way that it's going with offense being lifted, you got more points are being scored. That terrifies Kirk Ferentz. And also, one thing that he really doesn't like is traveling west for football games. You think about some of the most lopsided losses in his tenure. I think it was 2002 when they won the Big Ten title. They lost to Arizona State in week 1. They got blown out. They've lost to Arizona on the West Coast. They have really struggled going west. So with the addition of USC and UCLA into the fold, that's another thing. So it's just one of those situations where he's the dean of college football for a long time, or for a reason. He's been around for a very long time, and there are a lot of dramatic changes going on that certainly he is not thrilled about.
Yeah, but like I look at last offseason with the Chris Doyle stuff. Ran a program that made black players uncomfortable. Players in general felt bullied, right? Like, and that had to be a change. I don't know why. And that he had to do it out of necessity. Like, he was forced to. It was his hand was forced on that. I don't know why this has to be. And even with, and Nick Saban's done a little bit of it as well, not as much as Kirk Ferentz, but a guy like him, I think he needs to be careful about messaging, because moving forward in this new day of college football, you can't have that messaging if you want to recruit and win at a high level.
Yeah, I don't know about the recruiting thing, because they've never recruited very well. Like, let's be real about Iowa. Recruiting rankings wise is not going to be in the top 10 year in and year out. So they do take pride in the fact that they get a lot of 3-star MAC kids, and they play a lot of walk-on players from in-state. They take pride in that fact. And right now, what you're seeing is doubling down on that. So what Kirk Ferentz has done all offseason is say, okay, well, yeah, there's been a ton of outside noise about the program, the way the program is run, the offense. Well, let's start with the offense. What did he do this offseason? Well, he not only kept his son Brian Ferentz on staff, but he made him the quarterback's coach, position he's never coached before in his life. He said that there were not going to be very many major changes offensively. The recruiting, I don't think it's going to change a whole heck of a lot, and they've picked up some in-state 5-star recruits. They were able to keep Xavier Wampa and Caden Proctor in back-to-back years. And he's, as I said, he is doubling down on his philosophy.
Yeah.
He does spend all offseason doing it. And as long as he gets to 8 wins, the fan base pretty much stays happy and going through those turnstiles. Like, I will be very honest about the state of it, because until somebody in the West or the Big Ten or the schedule changes dramatically to where he's not winning somewhere between 7 and 10 games a year, it's hard to imagine a whole lot of change in Iowa City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't you in that description of Kirk Ferentz? Didn't you, Alex? If you change Kirk Ferentz in there and intersperse this name, didn't you describe how it came to the end for Gary Patterson at TCU?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always an end point for coaches. And I remember Jim Boeheim saying, they asked him, how long are you going to coach? And he said very frankly, as long as I'm still winning. And that's the thing for Kirk Ferentz. All the concerns about him, they've had 2 10-win seasons in a row. And what did Gary Patterson in? Well, some mediocrity at the end. What did some other coaches in that same situation in at the end? Mediocrity. Hayden Fry at the end of his tenure.
Les Miles.
Exactly. The program just went downhill, and
Tommy
it happens
Tuberville.
to everyone. It just happens to others, some before others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No question about it. Now, the Dennis Dodd report today, it looks like the Big Ten is sort of targeting, according to Dennis, Cal, Stanford, Oregon, and Washington. One, what do you think about the report? Do you think that this is absolutely sort of true at this moment? And two, what do you think a timetable would be on this? Because hearing Kevin Warren, he said it's got to be the right time, it's got to be the right situation, and it doesn't. Based on what he said, it didn't feel like that time, that place was right this second.
That report did a couple of things. First of all, it confirmed everything that a lot of us were speculating. The fact that Notre Dame seems to be the holdup, the linchpin in all of this. If the domino of Notre Dame going to a conference falls, especially if they go to a power conference or the Big Ten, well then we're going into we're heading straight at super conferences. 20 teams, 22 teams, 24 teams. I don't know where it ends, but that's where we're going if Notre Dame decides to join a conference. And it also confirmed to me that outside of Notre Dame, if the Big Ten does get Notre Dame at 17, they would need at least one more team to make it 18, most likely 2 more teams after that. So they would add Notre Dame and then 3 more. And what would they do? Most likely, well, they'd want to get into the Seattle-Portland market, and they'd want to get into the Bay Area market as well. There's been some talk about the Charlotte market, whether you'd want to go and get either North Carolina or Duke. But to me, it's made a whole lot of sense. Oregon and Washington, and then either Stanford or Cal, most likely Stanford, getting into the San Francisco market and getting a top 10 or top 15 academic institution in the country. So that report didn't surprise me at all. It just sort of it confirmed our speculation that whatever Notre Dame decides to do, if they move, it's going to cause a domino effect.
Yep.
We're going straight towards super conferences. There is no way around it.
Mm-hmm. The other thing, too, with those 4 schools, the Big Ten really has a type, don't they? They really have a type that they like to go after from an academic standpoint. They seem very, very set in their ways in that regard.
the Association of American Universities.
Good old
they
AAU.
talk about that. They talk about the AAU at length, and it's funny because there's this weird looking down their nose with the Big Ten. We don't like Missouri, University of Missouri. They're not a good enough academic institution. But at the same time, Notre Dame is doing exactly the same thing to them and has been for decades. So, yeah, I think that the Big Ten in the expansion era has juggled bringing in academic institutions with bringing in like just obvious money grabs like Maryland and Rutgers. That was done for one reason and one reason only, to get into the DC and the New York TV market, and then actually on the field related universities. Like what made a lot of sense at the time. I know people still sour on this, but Nebraska in the Big Ten, having a brand like Nebraska in the Big Ten. So they've shown that they can go all of those different ways, which is why I'm very curious to see what the future of expansion holds.
No question about it. They've been strategic. They've definitely been strategic. No, you got to get on the air soon. Alex, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thank you, Alex.
Will do. At Alex Kuhn 523 is where you can find him on Twitter from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids.
Gabe, I'm springing this on you. Give me one quarterback in the Big Ten nobody's talking about now that we'll be talking about in November.
That's an interesting one. That's kind of tough. It
is tough.
I think there's one name that no one's going to discuss, and it's kind of it's up in the air if he's going to be decent when he gets there. I think Connor Bazelak at Indiana,
great one,
could potentially be a guy that
he's my
absolutely
second guy.
No one's going to discuss.
My first guy, brother of Tuanon.
Okay, Talia. Okay,
at Maryland.
That was going to be another one that I brought up. But we'll see. Peyton Thorne at Michigan State kind of getting a little bit of headlines. I think he'll be solid again this year. But Talia and Connor Bazelak, two good choices there. Let's go ahead and get to our final break of hour number 1. When we come back, we have to talk about Ryan Day and his comment today. He basically talked about an 11-2 year. He talked about winning a Rose Bowl, and he expressed dismay with that happening. We'll talk about that when we come back on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time for another season of golf at Miramichi. You know the spot, 15 minutes north of downtown in Woodstock. I call it heaven. It's 330 acres of natural beauty, 7,400 yards of championship-level golf, but there are several different tee boxes which make it fun or competitive for every level of golf. And the practice facilities are as good as any country club, and every round of golf comes with a cart and complimentary range balls. You can really improve your game, and you'll love the prices too. Seniors can play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for as low as $33. Again, the golf cart and the range balls are thrown in. The standard weekday rates are as low as $44. Friday, it's $50, and on Sunday, it's $55. You'll love the view from the terrace. You look out and see the best view in all of Shelby County. The whole experience, it's just fantastic. Go check it out yourself at Miramichi.
It's time to take it on at Gossett Mitsubishi's summer sales event. You need a new ride? We Gossett covered. Don't fret about gas mileage on your summer vacation. Get 39 MPG combined with 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, $219 a month or $17,015. Take sporty to a new level with 2023 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, 28 MPG combined, $349 a month or buy for $27,335. Plus, 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, 7 seats, $409 a month or $31,795. And get peace of mind with our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
75 months at 3.69. Mirage NH00 6956, MSRP 17515. Eclipse PZ 00747, MSRP 28085. Outlander NZO 78023, MSRP 32295. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/1/22. Dealer stock only.
Barden Stone has been serving the Mid-South area for over 3 generations. What sets them apart and makes them unique? Landscape Stone Center. They have one of the largest selections with a wide variety of colors and sizes, all the way from cobblestones to garden rock and pebbles from ground cover, plus fieldstone and flagstone, stepping stones and stacking stones, even landscape boulders. In addition to a wide variety of stones and rocks, Barden Stone staff is very knowledgeable. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or design professional, Barden Stone can answer any question pertaining to the use of stones from A to Z. Barden Stone, they know stone inside and out. Barden Stone, 1 mile south of Park at 1557 Cherry Road. Barden Stone, open for you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Call 901-683-8264 and visit Barden Stone.
Hey, I got one of my best customers, Mark, here.
Hey, Montana.
Hey, Mark, tell Sports 56 fans the deal of the century that I gave you at Sleep Cheap.
Yeah, I just bought the whole family's new mattresses. Our backs thank you. These are professional people to work with, good quality mattresses and box springs, and they under-promised and over-delivered. We got the Sports 56 deal, the hybrid mattress and box springs regularly $1,000 for $599, and the wife and I got the king-size mattress normally $1,500 for $999.
Mark, it was a pleasure working with you. Glad you and your family are happy with the quality of our memory foam. Now I'm extending this manager suite deal to my fellow Sports 56 fans. Check out our 3 locations, 6330 Winchester, Memphis, 1069 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, and West Memphis, 1701 North Missouri Street. Also wanted to let you know Sleep Cheap mattress sets starting at $199 to $4,000. We have twin XLs, queen, king, California King, we got it all. And again, guys, take advantage of this sweet Sports 56 hybrid mattress queen box deal. Normally $1,000, we got it for $599. We also have the King, normally $1,500, selling for $999. See y'all at Sleep Cheap.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. As we all know, Memphis can be a hotbed for severe weather, and that weather can play havoc on our roofs. Most people don't know what they should do first when they're concerned about the condition of their roof. Call their insurance company, call a contractor, or trust a door-to-door salesman that's making claims that are hard to believe. My advice would be call the contractor that you know and trust. If you don't know any, research your local contractors and give 2 or 3 a call. I hope your research will lead you to us. Have your roof inspected, decide for yourself what you should do, and whether or not you should file a claim with your insurance company. It's your home, it's your policy, and it's your money. Don't let anyone pressure you into anything. If you give Five Ash Roofing a call, we promise personal service with a member of our family with no pressure and no hype. Five Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Yeah. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
Open the door, sit in the seat, turn the key, and go.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
You're back in with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe, he's Stats. And it really is preseason. We had SEC Media Days, ACC Media Days, Big Ten Media Days rolling along right this second. You get into the expectation game. You talk about expectations. What do you expect to happen? How much can you expect?
Basements and ceilings.
How much can you expect from your team?
That could be our podcast, Gabe. Basements and ceilings.
Basements and ceilings. There you go. There you go. Now, Ryan Day, head coach for Ohio State.
We got a podcast. It's called Gabe and Stats.
Yeah. The podcasts are up now since yesterday. But Ryan Day, of course, the head coach for Ohio State, was talking about expectations today for his team. And what he had to say was, quote, "Our expectation is to win every game." Now, I think that a lot of people would say, yes,
that's a big one.
That's I expect it. Yes, that's a fair expectation. I love that expectation. He went on to say, quote, "Maybe at some places 11-2 with a Rose Bowl victory is a good year. It's not at Ohio State," end quote.
That's a shame.
I can't get over
bad.
I can't get over that, Brett. That's insane to me. I feel most of people around the country, all these other universities, feel personally attacked by that statement.
I think 11-2 is a really darn good year anywhere, and I'll say it if Alabama or Georgia, if they go 11-2 this year, it may not be what you expect, but I don't think you have to explain 11-2. And Gabe, I'm for the playoff. I'm for expanded playoffs. I've always been for this, but I knew we would get here in this zero-sum world. That even winning the Rose Bowl is not enough.
Well, we had dudes sitting
sad?
out. We had dudes. I mean, even then, we had guys sitting out. Ohio State had a bunch of guys out. And Garrett Wilson, Chris.
They had to introduce himself in the receiver room to each other.
Jackson.
Hi, my name is. Hello.
Thank the Lord for Jackson Smith and Jigba having 4 TDs and 300 yards receiving in that game, or they don't win it.
And sadly, now they enjoyed it, and they enjoyed it immensely, and they should have. But the Razorbacks barely got home from what I think is a really good bowl game, the old Outback Bowl, soon to now going to be the Tampa Bay Bowl. They may have a different name in it. Beat Penn State. They don't get home good in NIL hits. I mean, the shelf life of enjoying that good bowl win, I'm afraid, is too short now, and that's at your own peril. I think you should enjoy winning.
I think you should enjoy winning, too. And Ryan Day saying this. Like, I totally understand this expectation to win every game. I think, without no question, not every – and I think every program has that. It's attainable, though, for Ohio State, for Alabama, for Georgia to win every single game on their schedule.
I think sometime going to a bowl game and losing, you should enjoy it. And I did it 6 months ago, 7 months ago. You did it with your beloved Tigers at the Cotton Bowl.
Yep.
Bryant, you did it with. I don't think going. I wanted to win. Of course, it was more fun beating Oklahoma State, but it was a great season. You let Ole Miss go to a Rose Bowl and win, you'll watch me dance home from Pasadena.
But for Ryan Day, like, all I could think when I saw this quote is that's depressing.
It is.
Damn, that's if you don't win the national championship, it's a failure. If you don't get to that ultimate peak and win a natty, you haven't
I think
reached
Michigan had a great year last year.
But you haven't. But the fact that you say you haven't reached your expectation if you don't win a natty, that's ridiculous. Only one team can do that.
I thought Utah had a great year last year, and they got beat by Ohio State in said Rose Bowl.
So yeah, I think it's unbelievable that's his outlook. Also, he went on to say that with Jim Knowles coming over from Oklahoma State, he expects Ohio State's defense to be a top 10 defense. And all I can say when I see that, and obviously it's different talking about it than actually being about it. They're going to have to be a top 10 defense before we really start talking about this in general. But if they can be a top 10 defense, look out. That's going to be a scary, scary team.
I think look out for top 30.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought. And I heard a lot of people discussing today, well, Jim Knowles is great, but Ohio State doesn't have they don't have the big names. Well, first of all, they have Zach Harrison. I think he's an NFL guy. Jack Sawyer behind him, he's an NFL guy. And obviously, the name recognition is sort of secondary.
It'll grow.
But also, Brett, go look at what Jim Knowles was coaching at Oklahoma State for 3 years.
Right.
Name me a single NFL guy. Name me a guy who is a star player right this second on an NFL franchise. You can't. So I think there's certainly potential for that Ohio State defense to be much improved. Now, before we get out of here for hour number one, let me tell you about the one place in Memphis that has been missing for a while, but it's back. That place is Bell Tavern. It's better than ever, and Memphis is a better place because of it being back. It's open 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday and 2 to 8 p.m. on Sunday. You know about 117 Prime on 117 Union. All you do is walk through the dining room of 117 Prime, and you access the best bar in Memphis. It's the perfect place to start your night with a gourmet bite to eat, burgers, sandwiches, and starters, and end your night with the coldest beer in town, and I truly mean coldest, Frosty mugs. But coldest beer in town and craft cocktails that you can only find in Barbaro Alley, tucked in between 2nd and Main. For information daily, call this number, 901-249-6580. Again, 901-249-6580, or go to their website, belltavern.com. It is Bell Tavern. Hour 2 is on the way. We have some NFL training camp discussion to get to. Matt Corral sound. He discussed sort of his college decision. And he made some interesting comments about Ole Miss we'll have to get to. We have Way Back Wednesday around 4:45. But coming up next, we have some golf talk, and we have to make some picks with our friend from Timber Trust Golf, John Goen.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
I'm here with Kyle Storms from Big Green Egg. Kyle, I hear people all the time say how they love their Big Green Egg, but what makes a Big Green Egg so great?
Thanks, Stats. The fact that our grill is made out of the highest quality ceramic allows our customers to smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all while locking in the most amount of heat and flavor in their favorite foods.
What kind of fuel does the Big Green Egg use?
100% natural lumpwood charcoal. That's really where half our flavor comes from.
How many sizes does the Big Green Egg come in?
We have 7 different sizes and all different configurations ranging from metal stands, wood tables, and metal carts with a lifetime warranty. So we really do have a size and price point for everyone.
Where can someone go to see the entire lineup of Big Green Egg?
Garden Spas and Pool, Germantown Hardware, Hamilton's Fireplace and Grills, East Memphis Ace, and Cordova Ace Hardware.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Witten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. Have you been turned down by your homeowner's insurance in the past 12 months for damage you believe you're owed? Call Brian Elder Roofing now. Our professionals will do a no-obligation, thorough evaluation of your property and document all damage we find. Our fully certified Hague inspectors are trained to identify storm damage to assess and build a full estimate in a language your carrier will understand. If there is no damage found, we will tell you just that. We build a data file of your actual storm damage for your carrier, all at no cost to you, free. So call now for your comprehensive roof guarantee from Brian Elder Roofing. Call us, 867-0303. That's 867-0303, or schedule online at brianelderroofing.com. Because if you think it's a claim, we'll help you show it's a claim.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's the Make This the Summer event, and it's going strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. And we're ready and waiting to put you in a new ride today. Can't find the vehicle you've been dreaming about? No worries, Gossett has the solution. Stop the searching. Get to Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat, and we'll order your perfect vehicle just for you at no extra charge. Your color, your extras, your perfect vehicle. Gossett will and can order that vehicle just for you. Won't take long, won't break the bank, won't make you wait for hours. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, and you won't be paying for market adjustments or added costs you can't even figure out. You will not pay more than MSRP for your new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, or Fiat. So get to Gossett today and let us put you in the ride of your dreams. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Fiat, or shop online GossettMotorcars.net. All pricing includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/1/2022. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Dad, come on, you're going to fall on the barbecue.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Hour 2 is here. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe, he's Stats. Brian Degas, of course, producing the program. Hit us up. Autos on listener lines there for you. 901-360-8255. Message us. Questions, comments, concerns. 901-360-8255. Also message us on our social. Sports 56 WHPQ, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Without further ado, let's bring in our man from Timber Trust Golf. He is John Goen. John, how are you?
Doing great, guys. How are y'all?
Doing well. I'm doing well. Now, I have to ask off top because I know the Pro-Am today. There's the Pro-Am for the Live Golf event. Do you think Charles Barkley gets a substantial offer? Do you think we see Charles Barkley with Live before this is all said and done?
I think it's going to be a little difficult. I would think that Charles has got to kind of dot some I's and cross some T's with his other job.
He hadn't shied away from the conversations, though.
No,
at all.
But why should he?
Right.
Why should he? Doesn't conflict at all with any of it. Everybody's going to continue to beat, this drum, and not really look at potentially, some of the beds that the tour has, kind of made for themselves with either other countries or whatever as well. So, I think it's look, he should, if he's given every opportunity. He joins the broadcast team with Faraday. I think it might be somewhat interesting to have he and Faraday and then potentially Gary McCord even kind of join that group. It definitely will be unique to anything because I'm very, very hopeful that Faraday gets a bit more of his jovial, fun, witty, comedic side back that he had at CBS, as opposed to being kind of tied down by NBC. I think they really kind of handcuffed him and kind of put him in a box a little bit. So I'm hopeful that what we're going to see out of David Faraday, and then whoever else happens to join him, could really make the live broadcast, I think, fairly enjoyable to watch.
Doesn't it feel like, John, we're building to a big network announcement or a big, easier way, maybe streaming, to get their broadcast, and also maybe Nick Faldo? Until I see him retire to Montana and stay there, I'm not going to believe it. I think something's up.
Well, sure. I haven't done the real hard look as to, out of 40-something PGA Tour events, and obviously, they split here and there, and then, of course, there's the second team. How many events is Faldo truly broadcasting, over the span of the PGA Tour season? I guess plus, though, he's got to appear, Golf Channel related and stuff like that. So, for
let's
him
say 30.
to be, So, for him to, you obviously saw the announcement they're going to do 14 events next year. They've tied in with the Asian Tour now, so they're trying to ultimately create their little Corn Ferry system. Realistically, at the end of the day, right, to develop, golfers. That was one of the knocks that. How are you going to ultimately develop talent to move it up to the next level? Talking about relegation, a little bit obviously of a soccer term that, for the guys that don't necessarily perform at the top, they kind of get pushed down a little bit and relegated to, it looks as if now the Asian Tour. I think it's like anything else right now. They're kind of starting to get maybe their ducks in a row here a little bit as they continue to develop and grow what they're trying to ultimately turn into, with the announcement of 14 events. So clearly we're adding 6 events now for next year. I think that you're starting to see them probably, truly trying to start cementing themselves to where they are going to remain the thorn of the side for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and they're expressly, saying, "Hey, we're not going to coincide with any majors." So they're wanting
no majors.
They're wanting all the majors to say, "Okay, if you're not going to let these live golfers participate in majors, you're going to have to tell them that. You're going to have to be the bad guy in these situations."
Well, and as we've discussed, I mean, you have a substantial amount of players that have won majors now on this tour.
Good talent, great talent.
Especially now that you add Henrik Stenson, there's another major winner that, I mean, the Open Championship now is going to tell him that he can't show up, and play in the Open Championship going forward. And as we've discussed, I mean, they've got at least 5 or 6 guys that have won the Masters playing on this tour now. I mean, Augusta National is now all of a sudden going to turn after, they want to talk about tradition at Augusta. You're now going to tell 5 or 6 guys that they can't come to Augusta National because of the tour they play on. Found it very interesting too this week that Liv put out a little snippet tied in with the DP World Tour about a press conference from very recent, within the last couple of years, about how excited they were to develop this relationship and partnership with Saudi Arabia and things along those lines. So they're starting to be more strategic in this campaign to combat, this one-sided kind of hypocrisy of how everybody's viewing what is going on here. And that in the past, people have been more than willing and more than excited to want to go down this path of getting into bed with doing business in Saudi Arabia. And, this one's going to probably be a little sensitive to bring up, but I mean, clearly there has been a substantial investment in that part of the world by a local business in our Memphis area that happens to also do business with the PGA Tour. They've announced a substantial piece over in this part of the world too, investment in what's going to happen. And so, it just continues to kind of, beat this drum here. And so, they're definitely, I think, going to remain, as I said, this thorn in the side to the PGA Tour and what's going to happen in the future.
And, John, look what it's done to like this week. I don't know that we would do a big, deep dive breaking down the field and the golf course in Detroit for the Rocket Mortgage. I don't know that we've ever done that. I know we're going to make picks, and we would loosely talk about it. But nobody's talking about the Rocket Mortgage. Nobody's talking about the Wyndham next week. The next PGA Tour stop is our tournament. It's Memphis, and then the BMW, and then the Tour Championship, and then the President's Cup. Here's what I fear, John. I fear after – well, I got to see what the punishment's going to be. It may be after the President's Cup, but I fear after the Tour Championship, we're going to have some names that will rock all of us that's joining Liv.
And why wouldn't they? Again, especially if the majors take a stance, which, clearly the RNA took a little bit of a stance during the Open Championship. We didn't see a single shot. I guess from hearing from folks, you might have seen 2 shots from Phil Mickelson in his 36-hole round. Granted, he wasn't necessarily.
People in witness protection have more visibility than he did at the Open Championship.
Right. For a guy who's won that event.
And won a major last year.
Right. So, and historically would have been shown just as much as Tiger Woods, probably. But
probably would have been paired together.
Potentially, sure. Yeah, Memphis is obviously going to be the next big thing for the tour. Again, the timing of these live golf events in direct competition with, let's face it, not very strong PGA Tour fields. You had John Deere. We talked about if they would have had something against the Barracuda. Obviously now you're going to have something
last
against
week.
Rocket. And the other thing of this, the 2 guys is, let's face it, Dustin Johnson probably would have been playing this week at Rocket Mortgage. You probably potentially would have gotten, a Brooks Koepka to play at Rocket Mortgage. You've got a lot of Patrick Reed, I think, to my recollection, has played well up there at Rocket Mortgage. So, it's, DeChambeau was a Rocket Mortgage guy before he jumped over to Liv. So the field would have been stronger, obviously, with those players in it. So, it's going to be interesting.
John, you know me well, and you could sense in the passion that I was texting you on Sunday that I was approaching losing my mind. And it's been one of my passions through all these years that we've talked golf together. I cannot stand a golf course that has a 240-yard par 3. I can't stand it. The best par 3s in the world, the longest one's about 165 yards. Make it target golf. And what they did last week at the 3M, and I loved it on Sunday, you see it at Hartford. I think we could do it here at TPC Southwind. Of course, so well. I think we could do it on 12. I know we could do it on 15. Not more yardage, less. Now, I understand that it makes for slow play with everybody going for a green. I understand that. But with these playoff fields like we have in Memphis that have lesser fields, and on the weekend we'll have about 75 players playing the weekend, I think you could do it with staggered tee times and accommodate TV. Let's move these tees up and have these go far at par 4s. That makes for more fun viewing, in my opinion.
Well, you don't disagree because, you've seen it. You saw it at the PGA Championship. You've seen it Open Championship. Hell, how many par 4s at St. Andrews were drivable for these guys
and made it fun.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, to a bit of your point, Southwind 12 would be interesting. There was obviously conversation about both 15 and 17 while I was there because historically TV is always going to want something a little bit later in the round. From an excitement perspective. So
for intrigue.
So 12, you'd obviously have to fill in some of that lake, especially where that tee's at. They've already taken out some, trees there to try to make that, visually more appealing for the guys off the tee. The guys didn't like, I think there was a sycamore tree right at 12 lake there at the beginning that kind of really forced them to have to push it, the drive a little bit more towards bunker, and they're hitting 3-wood a lot. So I think the tour came in, took that sycamore tree out to where, it does maybe entice the guys to bite off a little bit more than they can chew there. Again, you'd have to fill in some of that lake. That green, too, would probably have to change rather substantially because if you think about some of these greens historically with drivable par 4s, they have to have some depth to them to be able to accept that. So as you brought the approach area in, you'd completely look at reshaping that green on 12 because it's not very deep. It's a very shallow green for a drivable hole. So, but again, clearly the tour is spending a substantial amount of money at Southwind, and if they really wanted to go down that path, they could definitely look at doing it that hole. It's just dirt and grass realistically at the end of the day. That doesn't really cost all that much. Somewhat sarcastically.
And I want Sunday intrigue. I don't think we've got to stretch out to 7,500 yards. I think we can keep a lot of suspense at a ham and egg 7,100 yards, John. All right, it's pick time. Then let's give a round of applause to Bryant Dacus and one of the comebacks of all time.
Well
Way
done.
to go, Brian. 3 straight wins for him. I still don't think he's got it wrapped up, especially with you can take any two the rest of the way, and you can still get the great hit on the quad if your second one hits. So we start with Gabe. Gabe right now, he's picking, he's in fourth, but Gabe, you got $8 million. You have a big week this week. You got $12 million.
Yeah, thanks for trying to pump me up. Thanks for trying to keep me
I speak
me
the truth,
here.
Gabe.
Bryant really has been that guy that or gal that got out of their relationship and is now thriving as a single person.
Golf guy.
Yeah, he is thriving right this
The
moment.
most controversial firing on this show.
I thought last week he said he and Golf Guy were maybe back together here a little bit.
They
Were
may have
they
been
on a break?
Hey, they may
It's like Stevie and Tiger. It's never really right again.
They're exchanging texts right now, here and there.
We are not.
Hope you're well.
But me and my
that
golf
type of
guy,
thing.
we're fine. We love each other. We have a great relationship, a thriving relationship. We have
And this
one
is
little
feeling
fight,
bones, isn't it?
But we're
it's-
back together.
But it's better that he's not giving you the picks now.
Huh?
Right? But it's better that he's not giving you the picks now. Like y'all have broken up in that regard. He's not giving you picks, is he? Your golf guy.
I can't reveal my secrets, Gabe.
Oh, okay,
Right.
whatever.
See, here we go. Here we go. So he and the Golf Guy are back together.
Yeah, this kind of
and potentially,
It's Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton.
Yeah, good Lord.
Look, we should take great pride that at the end of the day, we make our own picks.
Yes,
and really
yeah.
don't
Good
take
job,
any
Gabe.
sort of
My golf guy's
outside.
texting me now, man.
Exactly.
So now, Brian's got his golf guy. So now we don't really know whether Brian's the guy who's winning these last 3 weeks.
I take back the round of applause.
And it's
rescind the applause.
It's really bothering me how sketchy he is being. I'm just asking him simple questions about his
I don't think
relationship
there's
with his golf
trust in
guy.
that. I don't think there's trust there, Gabe.
That's yes, seriously.
I thought we were making picks, not
Right,
analyzing.
guys? I mean, I guess golf picks are not a game of integrity. We can just kind of throw that out.
Whoever thought they were, John?
All right.
Go ahead, Gabe.
All right, let me take Patrick Cantlay. Give me Patrick Cantlay.
That's smart, and that was easy. John?
Yep, it was smart and it was easy. I'm torn on multiple situations here. I'll take Will Zalatoris.
There it is.
That was smart, and
It's a
that
good
was
one.
easy. I have both of those locked in as people that would be picked this week. I go with Kevin Kisner. Bryant?
I'm going to go with Max Homa.
There you go. Great Twitter
Interesting.
presence. Great social media presence, though, from
He
Max
does.
Homa. He definitely
does.
he leads the tour in that.
Gabe, shock us.
Give me this is just too normal, right? We just
Yeah,
taking two.
you can have any two you want.
Yeah. Give me Cam Davis.
Cam Davis. A lot of Cams out there. John?
You can take one of the other
Cam
Cams.
Cam Davis threw me a curveball there. I mean, if you're going to leave him for me, I'll take the guy who's played well in a major. Although this is not a major, I'll take Cameron Young.
Cam
There you
Young.
go.
I thought a
All
lot
right.
of Cams would get taken.
What about Tringale? He's the only we need.
John, you remember when I saw him in 2019 at the Arnold Palmer Cup in Little Rock at the Alotian Club? I said Brandon Wu would win in 2 years on tour. He hadn't, but I think I've proven my point that he was going to be a great PGA Tour presence. I think his world ranking right now is 221. So even by the rules of the old Shockway, I take Brandon Wu.
All right.
Wow.
Yep.
That's something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Out of Stanford.
I don't know what to say about that one. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Tony Finau won't play well, I guess, this week just because of whatever. I mean,
I didn't think
wow.
he'd close the deal last
Well,
week, John.
At this point, though, for us that are behind Bryant, we need winners. And I like Tony
True.
Finau winning 2 in a row. That's the likelihood
Not
of that
gonna
happening.
probably happen.
Yeah.
Thank
True.
you, Gabe. Bryant?
Taylor Pendrith.
There you go.
Boy, you like the Canadian Taylor Pendrith, don't you?
Sure do.
How far is
Or
he?
is that
Like all
golf
Canadians.
guy?
Is that,
Or is that golf?
That's
can't
golf
tell
guy.
anymore.
That's golf guy.
I just love it. I was going to say something, but now that you've stepped back into this conversation, Brett, I'll jump back into it. Is it really when Bryant says that I am taking such and such a player, is it really Bryant?
Should I start
We don't know.
saying we
Golf
or
guy.
he? Golf guy is taking.
John, we've seen it for a long time.
He.
Gabe, you
you
know
said
it.
guy, so we know it's a he, though. So we
In
can
the college
process
football world,
elimination.
it's why co-coordinators never work, because if they win, one guy takes the credit. When they lose, they want to blame the other guy. So I don't know who to give the credit
Are
to.
you talking about the Gus Malzahn special? That whole
You
thing?
got it.
Yeah.
Do you not find
There
it
you go.
funny that it's I'm taking, yet at the end of the day, we know that there's two guys. So Bryant's clearly not a team player. This is not
Yeah.
we are taking. You know,
I don't-
there's
I
a lot of
represent
money in Bryant's
Both
team.
of us.
All right, John,
Right.
About an hour ago, I was looking at the radar, and I was hoping you got a little something of that rain, but I think it stopped before it got to Timber Trust. Tell our listeners about Timber Trust, and if they can bring a rain, you'll probably give them a greens fee.
I got 3/4 of an inch at my house. I got 4/100 of an inch at the golf course.
400 does you nothing. You don't even empty the gauge with that.
It doesn't even get the parking lot wet.
It just makes it steamier.
Oh, man. But, look, I mean, we continue to, just kind of do some things and work on the golf course. We did some renovation work to the front of 13 green today, this morning, kind of first thing. And, kind of got some things out of the way there that we've been needing to kind of get to. So that just going to kind of really promote the growth and give us some more hole locations in the front of 13 green there. But just continuing with our investment and what we are doing at Timber Trust and everything. Golf course is in good shape. We've got some firm conditions, obviously, in the fairways. We've been really focusing on making sure that, we continue to keep greens irrigated and the greens are in really good shape. Can't be happier with how the greens putt and everything right now. Speeds are good. So, obviously tomorrow night we kind of kick it off again with our 2-man. We've sold out. I can't tell you the last time we actually had room in the 2-man. I know last week we had 2 teams at this point in time of an opening. And then, we were sold out basically the next morning when I showed up. I don't have an exact number for tomorrow night, but I'm pretty sure we're awfully close to already being filled for tomorrow night. So our kickoff to an early weekend is continuing to be popular. There are some good tee times available still for the weekend, but those are obviously going to go fast. It looks like the rain chances are kind of over the span of the next 4 or 5 days, and they're a bit kind of all over the place. But I think it seems like maybe morning times might give you a pretty good chance before the heat builds up in the afternoon and kind of really triggers some of this stuff. So give us a call, 662-895-3530, or you can book online at timbertrustgolf.com and get your tee times for this upcoming weekend. But we look forward to seeing everybody down in Olive Branch this weekend.
Awesome stuff as always. You the man, John. Appreciate you joining us.
Guys, y'all have a good weekend. We'll look forward to next week.
You got it, John. A lot of fun. A lot of fun talking golf with John, and you will have fun at Timber Trust, I can assure you. Not far from Timber Trust is All-Star Chevrolet right there in Olive Branch, and that's where all the pre-owned trucks and SUVs are. They're all at All-Star. Head down Highway 78. First exit into Mississippi is Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there. All the Ram trucks, the Laramies, the Bighorns. They look like they've barely been driven. Jeeps, Grand Caravans, and they have an Audi Q7 as well. If you want any pre-owned Silverado or certified pre-owned Silverado, head to All-Star. Jeff and Kevin, they've been right there getting all the good deals that they have in Olive Branch. Crew cabs, double cabs, high country, some nice Tahoes too. Kevin and Jeff asked me to give a big shout-out to all of you who chose All-Star as the go-to place to sell your vehicle. So many on sale at All-Star. If you want to sell any vehicle, bring it to Olive Branch. Get a check today, even if you owe money against it. You don't have to buy a thing. You can pre-order any new Chevy you want right there at All-Star. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah, it's not Bartlett or Collierville or South Haven or the Pike. It's got to be All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Or always, you can go to allstarautogroup.com.
Got to get to a break. Stick with us right here on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully, because now there are new regenerative treatments available here. Hi, this is Greg Gaston. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, is now open, giving lasting relief to people with joint pain, using the latest in precision medicine with natural biologics. It's an exciting non-surgical approach that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints and get you moving again. QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics nationwide and has treated thousands of patients with an incredible success and satisfaction rate. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, you need to check out these new treatments. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation with the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with all the hottest brands in golf at the best prices, featuring tailor-made stealth carbon woods and irons. Callaway's Rogue ST collection of woods and irons, Titleist's T-Series irons and Vokey wedges, and Ping's G425 woods and irons. All this and more at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Swing by and receive a free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
I'm with the expert. Yeah, that's right, expert. Kyle Storms here with Big Green Egg. Kyle, what can you cook on a Big Green Egg?
Almost anything. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill. Some of the best barbecue, desserts, and pizzas I've ever eaten have been cooked on a Big Green Egg.
I have to be honest. The last grill I had fell apart on me. I had to throw it away. What kind of warranty comes with a Big Green Egg?
This will truly be the last grill you have to buy. Big Green Egg has had a lifetime warranty on all ceramic parts of the egg since 1995. I talk to customers all the time that have had their eggs for 10, 20, 30 plus years. You can't say that about most grills.
How long has the Big Green Egg been around?
Big Green Egg was founded in 1974 by naval engineer Ed Fisher and has never changed ownership. Ed found out that no matter what you throw on an egg, it just comes out better. And now more and more people find out every year.
Is there a room in your house that never seems to cool or heat the way you think it should? Then a Mitsubishi ductless system may be a solution for you. Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Ductless systems are relatively new to the United States, but Mitsubishi ductless systems are a proven energy saver because the system does not have any ductwork, so it can blow colder air in the summer and warmer air in the winter. Mitsubishi's inverter-driven compressors automatically adjust to your cooling or heating demands to deliver ideal comfort while only using the energy that is needed. No more, no less. Do you have a bonus room, sunroom, or master bedroom that never cools right? Maybe a new addition to your home or a garage you want heated or cooled. Now you can do it efficiently. Call Choates today at 755-4797 or visit our website at choateshvac.com to schedule your free estimate. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Let's say you need a new car, so you go to a dealer, right? Wrong. You need to go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales. Why? Because why limit yourself to just one kind of car when you can choose from all kinds of cars, SUVs, and trucks? All different years, all different makes, all different models. Really good prices, too. Now, everyone says that about the money, but Mount Moriah Auto Sales proves it. They work hard to get you the deal you want, even financing. Plus, they have a huge full-service department to help you take care of your car. So many choices at Mount Moriah Auto Sales. They're almost unlimited, with new vehicles coming in every day. Now, these are really good cars and trucks and SUVs that you'll want to drive. And yes, low miles too. It's so easy. Just go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales, tell them what you want, but keep your eyes open because you might just find the car of your dreams. Mount Moriah Auto Sales makes it all possible. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner, right on the price, right on Mount Moriah.
When Chef Ryan Trim decided to open 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination, he was determined to make every single aspect of your experience at Prime something unique. You've heard of the huge selection of wine and bourbons at Prime, but they even brought in experts to create cocktails you literally cannot get anywhere else. The Straw Hat with Belvedere Vodka, the Borrowed Trinket with Monk's Road Barrel Aged Gin. That's just two of them. There are far too many to be listed here. If you want to try the rest, all you have to do is go to 117 Prime.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
How do you want that cooked? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
And the Hellcat watch me race a drift. Dollar boy problem, don't play with him. Like to ride in traffic with the Drake grip. We'll wipe his nose like a handkerchief. Say you ride for
I love fall camp time of year. I love when NFL teams get back into the facility and we get to hear the post-practice pressers. Those post-practice pressers, they say nothing after the first day of camp, do they?
They're trying very hard to say nothing.
Yes. It's just great to be back out here with these guys even though we're not in pads yet. Just fantastic.
How about Jerry Jones's media availability?
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought he looked a little desperate.
I mean, the crux of his entire discussion was around they need to be viable in the playoffs, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we've been in the playoffs. We need to be viable.
What is viability? That's winning, isn't it?
That's the Super Bowl. That's what he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about – because something tells me Jerry Jones doesn't care if he gets to the NFC Championship and loses it. I think he wants to be in a Super Bowl. That's what he means by viability if I'm reading through everything. Because he doesn't have that many more years doing this and being very, very present for it. He's getting up there in age. And
it's a long time since the last time he had the Lombardi Trophy in his hands.
Yeah. I with the Cowboys, though, I mean.
This is not a Super Bowl team.
No, I just don't think so. I don't. I think they'll be what they were last year, which was dramatically improved. 12-5 team. I can dig that. Micah Parsons in there for Defensive Player of the Year. Fantastic. That's great, but I just getting over the hump. Some of the things
hard
they
to pick
did.
Anyone else to win that division, isn't it?
But also, I think the Eagles have a chance. I'm not going to say that they're my favorite to win that division, but they have a chance. But you look at that Cowboys team and what they did. Some of the decisions they made this offseason, letting Amari Cooper go. They sort of screwed around with DeMarcus Lawrence for too long. Ended up paying him a decent amount of money. By the time it all came around, let Randy Gregory
Pretty good draft,
walk.
I think, but we'll see.
Decent draft. It is what it is. You're going to have to see
That's
that,
right.
that play out. But no, I tend to agree with you.
I'll tell you in November how good the draft was.
They need to be viable in the playoffs, but I don't know if they're going to be all that great. And I think also if they had a different coach, I'd have a lot more confidence. But we've hashed that out
Gabe,
1.5 million times.
I don't know that we talked about Matt Corral on the air yesterday. I think that was mostly off the air. I think I said I want to hear these comments because I think they will be a little more benign than the printed quotes.
So
didn't I say that to you off there?
And we mentioned it briefly. We didn't bring it up, and we didn't have like a transcript for it. But we knew that something had transpired, and there was a lot of headlines around what Matt Corral said. It was in the way of he regrets his time at Ole Miss, and a lot of headline and people trying to grab attention on what Matt Corral said yesterday. But this is exactly what he said.
What's it like in the preparation?
You know, I'm going to take us back to where I decided to go to college. I took the easy way because I felt like I could play right away, right? And knowing what I know now and trusting my instinct and trusting my work ethic, you know, I would have went to a place that would have made me compete. So with that being said, you know, who doesn't, like the best of the best, they want competition. And I think for this room, it's going to be a great competition because, you know, we're all competitors in that room, and we're all going to make we all understand, you know, what the job is to get done, and we're going to do it.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't get why he gave that answer because he wasn't really asked that. It was sort of like, how do you prepare? Like, what do you do to prepare daily to go out there and get it done? And he went on to say, and you heard him, I took the easy way. I felt like I could play right away at Ole Miss. Knowing what I know now, I would have gone to a place that would have made me compete. I'm going to open it up to you, Brett, and then I'll say my piece.
Just as I thought, I didn't think it was that scathing what he ended up saying. Now, I think he did have to compete at Ole Miss because, Gabe, I was at a scrimmage, COVID year, I'm going to say Saturday, September 19th of 2020, when everybody thought it was still a jump ball on who starts, John Rice Plumlee or Matt Corral. Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby smartly went with Matt Corral, and the next 2 years were historic and record-setting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he did have to compete at Ole Miss.
I think come on. Like, and I like John Rice Plumlee. I thought he was fine in the system that had been laid out by Rich Rod. Like he was good for that system, and he made more sense when that was the case. But come on, like by the time we got to that next year with Lane Kiffin, there was no real doubt in my mind that it was going to be.
It was because there was no spring. Now, if there had been a spring, there may have been no doubt come the traditional August camp time.
I'll take your word for it.
But I promise you, it was 50-50 on who's going to start. Now, clearly, the right one got the nod. No question about that. And he was better than John Rice Plumlee. He had a lot more asset. I think it was not as fast, but he was just as elusive and good a kind of heady runner. And he knew when to fold them too. He knew when to dip it out of bounds. And he was his arm strength in traditional quarterback. He was much better.
No, he was a 4-star recruit, and the other two schools that were very involved with him, and obviously I think Phil Longo was the guy who ultimately got him to Ole Miss and recruited him. At Ole Miss, but Alabama and Florida were involved in those conversations. It would have been really hard, even though Matt Corral was
committed to Jim McElwain.
Even though Matt Corral's an NFL player, 3rd-round pick, it would have been hard to climb the ranks at Alabama. Florida, he would have had to compete. Kyle Trask there, they had Felipe Franks for a moment, so that would have been there. But I don't know how much different it would have been. Now.
And Dan Mullen didn't like him and rescinded the offer.
I have to say, I think he said way too much. I think he said too much because he
Matt's
didn't.
going to tell you the truth, though.
Yeah,
he's going to speak.
I'm not saying that he's not that type of guy, and I like guys that
he's
are
more
open.
rather than less.
I think I like guys that are open and honest. But the question didn't really need that type of response.
Yeah, he answered the question that wasn't asked.
Yeah. And I don't think also, the way it was painted yesterday when he originally said it, was that he has regrets about going to Ole Miss. I don't think that's what he's saying. He's not saying he has regrets to Ole Miss, but I think he's saying the reasons he picked Ole Miss weren't sound and that he's grown from that. He's grown mentally since he made that decision, and maybe
I think he has grown.
He's saying if you put the brain he has right now into his 18-year-old self in 2018, maybe he would have made a different decision. He didn't say he regretted going to Ole Miss.
In 2018, his freshman year that he could play in the 4 games and not lose any eligibility, that was mostly a waste, and he wasn't going to play a lot that year, whether competing or not. And then in 2019, opening day against the Memphis Tigers, he started at Simmons Bank Liberty Field.
Mm-hmm. Now, he was offered by everybody around the country, though, when he was coming out. He was a big recruit, so he could have gone a whole lot of places.
Now, he
From
wanted
California,
to stay at home and really didn't get those offers. He didn't get those.
Did they get rescinded or something? Because he got offered by USC back in the day.
Yeah,
Arizona State.
But it wasn't. I mean,
they weren't head over heels about bringing him.
He wasn't they didn't covet him like the Southern schools did.
And that would have been around JT Daniels' time for
Mm-hmm.
USC, getting a 5-star. Keaton Slovis was there at that time. So no,
a lot of quarterbacks coming through there. He made it work. He's a great player.
He said too much though. At the end of the day, he definitely overspoke.
Example number 1,212. We ask the questions and then we don't like the answers.
You know, Brad. It's not that I don't like the answer. I'm fine with the answer. It's the
you
question.
Just wanted the question answered.
There was no question. The question wasn't even asked of him, but he still went for it. But yeah, the way it's been painted is dumb. I have to say.
And a precocious rookie.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And that Panthers quarterback situation is going to be
best man wins.
I have been, and I know how we do it with day 1, day 2 of training camp. We overreact. Like yesterday, Trevor Lawrence didn't throw an incompletion. You have people in Jacksonville just
Trey Lance era has
passing
begun.
out. Yeah, the Trey Lance era has begun. But I saw some videos of Panthers camp, and Baker Mayfield's struggling. Baker Mayfield's not having a good time of it right this second. But
against Air.
Well, against Air, but also in 11-on-11 drills, he got picked off a few times and threw a lot of incompletions. And you have to understand that though. He just got there. He's got to get used to things. He's got to get used to things.
I'll stay with Matt Corral's the starter by Halloween.
Really?
I'll stay with it.
Okay. We'll see.
You
know it's fair.
Powerball money.
I don't think
Mega Millions.
I don't think you win anything from that. But the only reason I can
Here's
see
what
that
I win.
happening,
Point something, like 0.1 cent.
Well, you get to what you win is being able to pat yourself on the back for that half second and say, "I told you."
What's that get you?
I told you.
Look what we did to Bryant. We gave him a round of applause and then rescinded it. What's that get you, Bryant?
Nothing. Maybe another winner.
Fame fleeting during this 3 hours.
The only thing that the only reason I could see that happening though, Brett, your Matt Corral prediction is Matt Rule is going to be very, very desperate to get wins. And if Baker can't deliver, if Sam can't
Get him
deliver,
out of there.
you got to keep moving down that list. Who can get it done?
It's going to be like a baseball manager pointing to his arm. Get the left
yeah,
in.
Exactly. The other big note from today, we've already hashed out the Jimmy G stuff. The other big note, Michael Thomas back with the Saints, and I look at the Saints as a whole. They can be a really good team this year. Now I know that Sean Payton's not there, and I know that you have to deal. You have to deal with Dennis Allen being thrust into that head coach role, but they have a good defense. They've been able to retain a lot of that talent. You add Jarvis Landry, you add Tyrann Mathieu on the defensive side of the ball. Chris Olave was an early draft pick.
The
Michael
clean
Thomas
break
back
from Drew
in the
Brees
fold.
and Sean Payton.
Jameis Winston back healthy. They have a chance to be a surprise team this year.
They do, and everybody's looking for that first-year coach, 10 new coaches, and they're looking for that first-year coach that can really make it work. Well, the easy choice is Todd Bowles. He's got that veteran team. He's got Tom Brady. I think New Orleans might be next. Or Miami.
I think that's true. Mike McDaniel in Miami is the other one I'd point to. Maybe Josh McDaniels with the Raiders could be
a
good
good
up
one
there as well. But no, I tend to agree. And like Dennis Allen, the difference with him too than the other new coaches, he's been there. He knows what the culture is. He's been coaching under Sean Payton since Greg Williams was out of there. So like he knows exactly what's expected and how that fan base, how that city reacts to a good team and what they need to get done. So
and that fan base is hungry.
There's some continuity.
And it stays hungry.
It's weird, though, because like 2 years ago, you look at the Saints and their cap situation, we thought it was done for them. We thought it was over with. We're never going to see the Saints back. It's going to go back to bags over the heads like it was in the 80s and the 90s, right? Like we thought it was going back that way. They have stayed afloat. They have found a way to keep that roster somewhat intact.
That was a beautiful Saint era. And Gabe, I've told you this before. From when Archie Manning
do you think Saints fans agree with you?
No, they like the winning better, but it was a fun-loving era of badness. And from when Archie Manning got drafted by the Saints, there was always some station in this town that carried Saints from about 1971 until about 2000. And those games were hard to listen to.
Fun-loving era of badness.
It was.
That's something. Fun-loving era of being awful. That stinks, though. I mean, that's no fun. But they and also it's interesting to think about the Saints being good and what we think of them now. That image starts and ends with Sean Payton. 100%. Basically.
Most important figure in the history of the franchise.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Now, let's go ahead and get to our final break of hour number 2. When we come back, we bring the generations together. Brett says I'm supposed to go 4 for 4 on Wayback Wednesday.
Bryant went 1 for 4 in the test drive.
But I'm supposed to go 4 for 4. We'll test that when we come back.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, Jeff Allen, could things get any hotter in Memphis? Summer's here and I'm ready for a road trip.
Then come see me at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, where the deals are hotter than the weather. 2022 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, and a 2023 Kia Soul LX, $248 a month. Both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing.
Hey, Jeff, I got to bring the family.
You need 3 rows and 7-passenger seating. 2022 Kia Sorento LX, $339, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 per year, 26 excess mileage, 0 security deposit, Forte NE 492,084, MSRP 21,065, sold P718,7730, MSRP 21,720, Sorento NG 137,060, MSRP 32,595. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Kia. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/1/22. Dealer stock only.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. Have you been turned down by your homeowner's insurance in the past 12 months for damage you believe you're owed? Call Brian Elder Roofing now. Our professionals will do a no-obligation, thorough evaluation of your property and document all damage we find. Our fully certified Hague inspectors are trained to identify storm damage to assess and build a full estimate in a language your carrier will understand. If there is no damage found, we will tell you just that. We build a data file of your actual storm damage for your carrier, all at no cost to you, free. So call now for your comprehensive roof guarantee from Brian Elder Roofing. Call us, 867-0303. That's 867-0303. Or schedule online at brianelderroofing.com. Because if you think it's a claim, we'll help you show it's a claim.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up and save money like never before at the Sunrise Chevy Big Top 10 event. See high prices disappear before your very eyes. Huge discounts and factory rebates up to $2,000. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, divorce, it's okay. The Sunrise Chevy team has over $100 million available for immediate financing and wants to get you financed. An $18 million used car inventory specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. See them all at sunrisememphis.com. The Sunrise Chevy tent sale in Collierville. Find new roads to Collierville, partner.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
I think this is the best chicken I ever had.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
You are back in Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats, and it's time to bring those generations together. Let's get to way back when.
Let's go.
All right, I'm feeling a 4 for 4 today. I'm
Here
confident.
we go.
I'm confident.
All right, let's go way back to conference realignment. In 1992, when Arkansas and South Carolina joined the SEC, Arkansas was the first pick. There's no doubt about that. South Carolina was kind of a scramble pick after what national power turned down the SEC? Was it A, the U, B, FSU, C, Clemson, or D, Texas?
It would be D, Texas.
B, Bobby Bowden in Florida State.
Oh, gosh. Already power. Shout out.
Flat turned them down, too.
Dang.
Question number 2. What popular beverage once had a tagline of saying, "It'll tickle your innards"? Was it? Was it A? Was it A, Schlitz, B, Coca-Cola, C, Mountain Dew, or D, Falstaff? Schlitz, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, or Falstaff?
It'll tickle your innards.
It was on the bottles.
Why? Why would that be a selling point? Why would you buy it? Do you think people saw that tagline like, yeah, I got to go get it right now?
Got to get me some of that.
But go through them again.
Schlitz, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, or Falstaff?
I don't know. I'll go A, Schlitz.
C, Mountain Dew.
It'll
on
tickle
every
your
bottle.
innards. That's gross.
You. Question number 3.
I don't really want my innards tickled, to be honest with you.
Question number 3. The Legionnaires came from an outbreak. Legionnaires' disease came from an outbreak in a hotel in the 70s from an American Legion convention. What city did that occur in? A, Toledo, B, D.C., C, Philly, or D, Salt Lake City? Legionnaires' disease.
One more time. Run through.
It happened at a hotel in what city? A, Toledo, B, D.C., C, Philadelphia, D, Salt Lake City.
C, Philadelphia.
Correct.
Yes.
In Philadelphia. Nice. Legionnaires' disease born in a hotel ventilation system. Question number 4, final question. Richard Williamson.
Did it tickle your innards, Legionnaires?
Well, be careful. Richard Williamson replaced Fred Pankos, who replaced the legendary coach Billy Murphy, who will be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame this December. Where did Fred Pankos leave to go be the head coach? Was it A, Florida, B, Vandy, C, Tulane, or D, Western Kentucky?
One more time.
Florida, Vandy, Tulane, or Western Kentucky?
I'm going to go Vandy.
Correct.
There we go.
Very good. And he replaced Steve Sloan, who left for Texas Tech. And Fred Pankos won his first year at Vandy, but not much after that.
Hey, 2 of 4 is handleable. It wasn't 4 of 4, though.
Pretty good.
Hey, did you explain what Legionnaire's disease was?
It was through the ventilation system, and it was
just a
droplet infection, a moisture infection.
Okay. Symptoms?
It killed a bunch of people.
Oh,
yeah.
Death. It wasn't immediate death. I'm not I can't imagine it was immediate.
I don't
death.
remember it, but several died from it. Yeah, in that hotel.
Okay, you went from tickled your innards to that. That's a hell of
I
a
said
transition,
disease
bro.
is not a great subject.
Let's go ahead and let's get to hour number 3. We have a lot of baseball to talk. We start talking with our man from KMOX in St. Louis, Kevin Wheeler.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We've all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, that's not possible. There are aerial pictures that can be taken every 4 years that can be used to measure most buildings, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof, or even if you need one, looking at pictures that could be 4 years old. If you'd rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, give us a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best service we know how to give. Fiveash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Got chronic joint pain? Not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well, thankfully, there's a better way. And it's now available here from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hi, this is Greg Gaston. I'm talking about new therapies, advanced all-natural biologics, regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in precision regenerative medicine with over 100 clinics across America and literally thousands of satisfied patients. If you've got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. You need to learn more about these new biologic therapy options that can change your life. Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation with local medical professionals. Call 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. QC Kinetics, 901-445-1010.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Now that the warmer weather has arrived, let Choate's perform their $99 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC ready for the hot summer months ahead. Also, Choate's is offering our half-off 1 pound of Freon coupon on our website for you to use. Does your HVAC system need to be replaced? If so, right now is an excellent time to take advantage of Carrier's 60 months, no-interest financing on select systems. Want to improve your indoor air quality? Choate's is also offering our new Abco air purifier for $100 off when you get your air ducts cleaned. UV technology sterilizes biological contaminants and neutralizes odors and toxic VOCs. Match that technology with getting your air ducts cleaned, and you'll have the indoor air quality your family needs. Better call 347-8086 today. These specials won't last long. Turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
It's time to take it on at Gossett Mitsubishi's summer sales event. You need a new ride? We Gossett covered. Don't fret about gas mileage on your summer vacation. Get 39 MPG combined with 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, $219 a month or $17,015. Take sporty to a new level with 2023 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. 28 MPG combined, $349 a month or buy for $27,335. Plus, 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, 7 seats, $409 a month or $31,795. And get peace of mind with our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Home 75 months at 3.69. Mirage NH00 6956. MSRP 17515. Eclipse PZ 00747. MSRP 28085. Outlander NZO 78023. MSRP 32295. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax filing license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8122. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
Let's talk some numbers here.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
I used to feel so devastated.
Hour 3 here on a Wednesday. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. Brian Dickens, of course, producing the program. And joining us to start hour number 3 is our man Kevin Wheeler from KMOX at Kevin Wheeler 94. Kevin, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Now, I have to start here, and I just have to get your opinion. Dealing with that market every day and discussing this every day. Juan Soto, is it real or perceived?
I mean, there's a lot of smoke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be real on some level. If you've got Ken Rosenthal mentioning it, and John Heyman, and Joel Sherman, and Jeff Passan. Not to mention some of the local guys here mentioning it. I mean, there has to be something to it. We don't know what that something is. Is it serious interest? Is it, one thing that John Mozeliak likes to talk about, when we talk about off-season moves with him or trades or free agency, they're always looking for opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you're talking about a pretty unique opportunity, a 23-year-old player that's one of the 3 or 4 best hitters on the planet, who is available. Now, it won't be cheap, but
it won't.
You don't have to commit to the money, right away. You'd have time to figure out if it's a fit, if you can pay him, if what he's going to ask for, all that. So you'd still have 2.5 years to figure that out. So I think there's something real to it. There just has to be. If there isn't anything real to it, it's one of the greatest smoke screens ever put up. Either by the Nationals, trying to, point out to other teams, hey, this team with all these good prospects is in, or maybe an agent is involved and all that. But I got to believe there's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, Gabe asked me earlier if I won on Friday night the Mega Millions over $1 billion, about $500,000 would be my part. What I would buy would be the first thing I'd buy with it, and I said a condo at One Cardinal Way to watch my beloved Cardinals. And if they needed me to, and I know times are tough for the DeWitts, I'd chip in a little more for Juan Soto if they needed it.
Yeah, you can just buy in and say, listen, here's my buy-in. I'm only giving you this if it goes to the annual salary of Juan Soto. And then we can go from there, right?
I mean, green seats in a box and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and you'd have a really good spot at One Cardinal Way, too. It's pretty nice. Pretty good view, pretty good spot, brand new building.
I swear I would.
He said he was going to go humble, though. He said he wasn't going to go full. He wasn't going to buy the one at the top.
Oh, you're not going with a penthouse, the pool on the roof, like the infinity pool. You're not going there.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
No. I don't want to make a fool out of myself, Kevin. You know how it is.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
the reality is the Cardinals have what it takes to get him. If they were to want to pull the trigger, they have the players, both in terms of quality and quantity, to make the deal happen. Mm-hmm. You name all the Cardinals' top young players; those are all players that fit Washington. From Dylan Carlson to Nolan Gorman to Matthew Liberatore, Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, you name it. All these pieces would be pieces that fit Washington. The question is, what is the Cardinals' puke point? Where do you get to the point where they're like, no, I can't do that? Because, look, if you're trading for him, Soto, you're probably going to have to trade an outfielder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not ready to be a DH, so I don't think you want to go there. Plus, you already got all these other guys you're trying to fit in at DH. So, Carlson makes sense if that's a package that you're talking about. And if I'm Washington, I don't want Bader O'Neill. They're closer to free agency and making money. Carlson's further down the road, more control. I'd rather have him. So it makes sense if you're talking about moving a guy like Soto in to move a guy like Carlson out. And then the question is, after that, do you have the stomach to trade Jordan Walker, who is the number 7 prospect in baseball, according to MLB.com? And I don't know, that's a tough one. But if you ask me if I'd move Nolan Gorman, I might. If you're asking me would I move those two plus Matthew Liberatore plus one other, you know what, I might. I mean, Juan Soto's that unique and that good. Not to mention the fact that you still have all the other prospects that you don't trade in the deal that are still either close to the big leagues or coming. The question I have is much more about what do you need, and to me, they need starting pitching.
Yep.
I mean, that's the greater need right now. If you want to make the playoffs, you need an upgrade in the rotation.
Kevin, there are plenty of things about the Cardinals that aggravate me. Mostly it's out of love. I squeeze them to death. I probably love it too much. I hardly can speak, down the middle about them, but I'm going to defend the DeWitts on this. I get tired of hearing my Cardinal brethren tell me they don't do anything, but and sometimes I get aggravated, but they don't do anything but drag profit. They don't put back in. Look, they went out and got Goldsmith. They went out and got Arenado. This last offseason, they got Steven Matz that led the American League last year for left-handers in wins. Now, he's been injured and got injured right back out there. I think it's bonk that the Cardinal ownership sits still.
I agree with you. I mean, look, and it doesn't mean that I don't think that there are things they need to be more aggressive on. I think my biggest complaint in recent years is not making the moves at the trade deadline to fix the needs you have in that moment. I think and those things probably don't cost that much because we're not talking about trading for an ace. We're not talking about trading for, a top shelf closer or a 3-hole hitter in most of these scenarios, right? We're talking about just making some upgrades that would give you the extra 2 or 3 games in the standings that you need or that you want, either to win the division instead of being in a wild card or getting a wild card spot instead of missing out. But yeah, they've made their share of big moves, man. I mean, the Arenado deal was a pretty sweetheart deal, but it's still taken on a boatload of money. And it's, the same thing on the Goldschmidt deal. It wasn't taking on a ton of money there, but you knew you'd have to pay him not long after that. They're pretty good in the off season.
Yep.
It's been the in-season where they've been a lot more conservative. And I'll say this. If the complaint that you're getting is that the Cardinals don't go all in when it comes to selling out for a specific year, well, that's correct. But they say out loud that they're not going to do that. I mean, they tell us that every year. We don't treat one year differently than another because
that's right.
If we sell out now, that means we're giving up something for next year. And their plan, their goal is to be there every year, to have a chance at this point every year to be a playoff team, and then obviously to be in the playoffs, because their view is winning a World Series is more about increasing the number of opportunities to make a run rather than going all in on a specific run.
Yeah.
And, take a look at the Dodgers. How many years in a row have they won the West? How many years in a row have they been the best team in baseball? And how many times in that run did they actually win the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
Once in a bubble with an asterisk.
Sure, right. They don't even have a full season one under their belt, and they're spending $300 million a year.
Right.
They're spending crazy money, so you can't match that. And if it doesn't work for them, if it doesn't work for the Yankees, who always have that ridiculous payroll and haven't won a World Series now in 13 years, then what makes you think it's a good idea for you? It really is. It's a lot like, honestly, guys, it's a lot like playing cards. It's a lot like playing poker. Do you want to win one big hand, or do you want to just keep playing and keep winning?
Right. Yeah, but
I think it's the odds are, because the playoffs are random, that the more times you're in the playoffs, the better you're going to be.
Yeah,
I want to stay at the table, Kevin. For one thing, I love the action.
And Cardinals fans have gotten to the point where it's like you have this product that's so consistently good. You're always in the playoffs, and you're always going to be in the market for big names. And you've landed something, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. I know the name was Max Scherzer for a while, and instead, you sort of last year when you got to the trade deadline point, instead of getting those big names to help your sort of starting pitching, to sort of help bolster that rotation, it's J.A. Happ, it's John Lester, right? So I think there's some frustration there in season, but I do tend to agree with you in the fact that in the offseason they are aggressive. Now, with this trade deadline coming up, if it's not Juan Soto, who else could be on the table for the Cardinals? Where else could they look in regards to trying to get some help?
I really think that this is the year they're going to trade for a pitcher. I would be surprised if it was a rental guy. I would be surprised if it was like a Noah Syndergaard type or somebody along those lines, because they don't like giving up quality young players that could be, helpful for 3, 4, 5, 6 years for 2 months of a player. And most teams don't do that much anymore, right? I mean, teams don't love the rentals, but there are some guys out there that are available that have team control for a little bit to spend a little bit more. That's the kind of guy you spend a little bit more on, right? I mean, if you're looking at everybody loves Frankie Montas from the A's, and he's the caliber of guy you want, but he's also had some shoulder trouble, so it's not exactly the best time to be jumping out into that pool. But I mean, he's a guy that's there. Ken Rosenthal mentioned yesterday that Detroit would listen on the lefty Tarek Skubal, and while he's not a proven ace in the category of Max Scherzer or whatever, I mean, that's a 26-year-old lefty who throws 95 to 98 miles an hour, who strikes people out, and has pretty good numbers on a bad team. I'd give up a good bit prospect-wise to get that guy, because you get him for the next 3 or 4 years. And that makes, when you're talking about a top of the rotation, maybe not top of the rotation, but a top-tier talent left-hander who could fit as your second or third starter long-term, that kind of deal makes a whole lot more sense. And if it's a rental, I would expect it to be somebody better than what we saw last year.
Right.
Kevin Wheeler, our guest from KMOX in St. Louis, talking all things Cardinals. And Kevin, again, I'm an insufferable Cardinals fan. I was at AutoZone Park last night watching Liberatore, and maybe his last start as a member of the Cardinals organization. I go to a lot of games. I come to St. Louis a lot. I love them, and that's part of the problem, isn't it? I mean, Cardinal fans, we hardly ever recognize only no losing seasons since 2007, only one in the 21st century, won it twice. We're in the world. Cardinals are in the World Series in 2013. The Cincinnati Reds, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Detroit Tigers, a bunch of people would trade with the Cardinals. It is in St. Louis. I know I don't want you to criticize your audience, but does it get a little old for you to hear the Cardinal fans talking like we're the Orioles?
That segment of the fan base, it can be annoying. I mean, I interact with them on Twitter a good bit. I don't think that's the majority of fans. I mean, when I look at how the fan base breaks down just after kind of the years of being here, 16 years of being here. There's like 3 different parts to the Cardinals fan base. So there's the I think the biggest part, which is people that love the team. They love that they're good all the time. They're fans. They're going to be fans no matter what. And I'd say that's probably at least half of your fan base. They like to come out to the ballpark and have some beers. They like the team. The team is good. It keeps their interest, and they're happy. And then you've got the kind of the bandwagon people, right? Where if the team's not great, they don't really care, but if the team's really good, they jump on board and they're happy to go along for the ride and have some fun. And then there's the percentage that is the one that's kind of the hypercritical one, and I would probably put that at about 20% of the fan base. The people that World Series or bust, and if you don't make the big move, you're too cheap and you're not spending it. I really don't think the majority of the fan base falls into the category of the people that are mad a lot. That's just a lot of the people that are on Twitter, to be honest with you. But as we know, Twitter only makes up 20% of the population, and I think it's something like
mad.
5%. Yeah, and by the way, it's also I think only 5% of Twitter users make up like 90% of the posts on Twitter. So even of the people on there, it's a small percentage that actually contribute. Because look, man, the Cardinals are still going to sell like 3.4 million tickets this year. There can't be that many pissed off Cardinals fans.
That's right. I went twice. I mean, how mad was I?
Yeah, I mean, again, even the people that are like really loyal and super hardcore and diehard, they still have their own criticisms, and there's nothing wrong with criticisms. I mean, they haven't won in 10 years, right? I mean, they haven't won the division very often in the last 5 or 6 years. They do need to be better than they've been, but it's not some kind of crap show. It's not some kind of disaster.
Right.
It's not the Oakland A's.
It's not,
right.
It ain't that. It ain't that. Now, we have a pretty big sample size at this point of what we've seen from this Cardinal team, Ali Marmol in particular. And obviously he's had to deal with some things. Yachty has not been healthy. They've had to play with basically the Memphis Redbirds the entire year. Tyler O'Neill hadn't been himself, hadn't looked very good. What have you thought of Ali so far?
I think he's done a nice job. And it's, you're right. It's still kind of an incomplete book, right? I mean, it's only about 2/3 of a season. And let's be honest, Mike Schilt did a really nice job for a really long time, too. So it's not like he was coming from a place where this team needed to be rebuilt. But I like what he does make sense most of the time. And when it doesn't make sense, it's usually because there's something we don't know. Somebody that's banged up and not available, and we don't necessarily know about it.
Right.
I like how he explains things, and he doesn't sugarcoat it. You don't get a lot of the whole, well, he knows he play. What you get is, like last night when he was talking about Palante, he was pretty clear. He's like, well, look, you got to miss bats sometimes, and you're going to give up a lot of contact. Right. When he was talking about Hicks and Fernandez, he said, well, if you're going to pitch to contact, you can't walk people. So, I think he's pretty clear in expressing himself, and I think you're right. Unique year in that, Bader and O'Neill had missed a lot of time again, and Bader just had a setback this week. The only two guys that have been consistent offensively have been Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. And thank God for Goldschmidt having an MVP caliber year, because if not for that, you're probably another 2, 3, 4 games back of where you are right now. So your stars are carrying you. Edman has fallen off a good bit. The kids were really helping out. They're struggling in July, right? I mean, Brendan Donovan's got a 496 OPS this month, hitting a $173. Gorman's hitting a $158 in July. I think that Yepes was hitting a $149 in July.
That book got around.
Yeah, and you knew they were due for something like that to happen.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, and you throw in Yachty not being in the mix. There's plenty. And then, let's be honest, the biggest of them all is Flaherty being hurt.
Yep.
They came into this year with the expectation that Flaherty would be healthy, and obviously he's not been. And, so given all of that, with even just a little bit better health, they're probably 3 or 4 games better in the standings, and we'd have a whole lot different opinion. But that kind of reinforces what we're talking about here going into the deadline of needing to do some things better and to make some upgrades.
Yep, and they're still tied right there. They're still in that third and final wild card spot, tied with the Phillies. So they have a chance to put themselves in postseason play. They just have to see what they can do at the trade deadline, see if they can get hot at the right time like they did last year. But I guess it's yet to be seen, and we'll just follow.
I mean, look, the truth is that the simplest of things will make a big difference. Getting your everyday lineup in the lineup on an everyday basis would be a start.
Right.
Seeing the kids ride out these slumps that you knew were going to come, how quick do they get out of them, or do they need to go back down? And if they need to go back down, where are you going to get the help? I mean, you're calling Paul DeYoung back. He's been pretty good there lately, right?
Yeah.
He
hit a big home run last night.
What's that?
He hit a big home run last night.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm remembering this right, you guys know better than me, but I feel like the last 3 weeks have been pretty good for him.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's got his average up to about 245, and looks a little more comfortable even defensively. And last night got into one, and I mean it was a tank.
Yeah, and I don't know that everybody here is all that fired up about seeing him come back because he struggled so much in recent years, but. Yeah. I mean, look, if Donovan and Gorman and Yepes aren't going to be better than they've been in July, and they need to be a lot better than they've been, they're also carrying a lot more of the load than you'd want them to, right? I mean, with O'Neill and Bader healthy, you wouldn't have to have those guys carrying as much of the load. But, it's a concern to me, too, that Tommy Edman has been struggling.
Yep.
And, he's hitting 215 this month, and he's been struggling to put up the extra base power that he was putting up a little bit earlier in the year. And, he was okay in June, so, it wasn't terrible, but July's not been good. They're going to need him, and they're going to need these kids to contribute. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit bumpy on the offensive side for a bit.
They sure will. But he is Kevin Wheeler at Kevin Wheeler 94 from KMOX in St. Louis.
Thank
Kevin,
you, Kevin,
always appreciate it, man. Let's do it again soon.
Hey, anytime, fellas. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yes,
was great. That was great. Kevin Wheeler with us from KMOX, and he is really good, and he is now branched out into kind of an all-encompassing show in the morning times as well at KMOX, really showing how versatile he is. I knew him from way back at Sporting News Radio and his Cardinal coverage. You can tell. I mean, he's plugged in and knows the team. This hour of our show brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road and online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. All the cars test driven, all checked out thoroughly, bumper to bumper, head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make, every model, and if by chance they don't have it, they'll go find wherever they have to go, they'll find that special car just for you. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. You walk in and you're treated like family. Kind, courteous employees, laid-back atmosphere, down-home environment. They care about your time, and they want you to enjoy the ultimate car experience. You walk in within 45 minutes, test drive your car, credit approved, paperwork completed, and you're out of there in your new car in 45 minutes or less. It's a guarantee because they know we live in a world today that time really matters, and that's why they have it so simple and so streamlined at DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road, 662-890-7184. Go online, check out the cars, and look at all the testimonials at DeSotoAutoSales.com. Head down to DeSoto County to DeSoto Auto Sales for that town and country experience.
Also, I've brought this up with Kevin in the past, but he's a coach for the Gamers in St. Louis, one of the summer ball teams. That organization gave me nightmares growing up when I was
was that the
when
Yankees?
I was playing
with
my summer. Oh God, yeah. Oh, 100%. And they have A, B, C, D.
Memphis just got a commitment from a Gamer.
Really?
Mm-hmm,
good deal.
Yeah.
Good. That's a really good.
I swear that Memphis baseball program. Now, football is the one that you make the most money from with the growth it can still very much have in season ticket sales, suite sales, walk-up sales. But Memphis baseball can catch fire in these.
So much.
This is a great youth baseball area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, yeah. And we're surrounded by great. There's good baseball in St. Louis. St. Louis would be an easy recruiting ground to go pull from. There's a
Little
lot
Rock
of places.
and Benton, Arkansas. There's four and a half hour drive. I mean, Jackson, Mississippi, in that area.
There's a bunch of places to pull from, and Carrick Jackson's been doing it. Carrick Jackson's got some transfers over from SEC schools. I mean, he's done a good job. Now, obviously, got to see how that on the field turns out, but
sure.
So far, he's definitely passed all the tests.
So
in that seat.
What was your youth baseball team? What was the name of your team?
The good old Redbirds. The good old St. Louis Redbirds. The Gamers used to, they used to tear us limb from limb. I didn't like the Gamers.
You know, Kevin mentioned the Yankees. In the 21st century, the Yankees have won it twice.
Yep.
2000 and 2009. Well, the Cardinals have won it twice in the 21st century. Mm-hmm. And all we do, led by me, is complain.
Yeah, well, we got to talk about the Yankees, though, too. Subway Series started last night, and the Mets beat the Yankees in Game 1 of the Subway Series. And
the Mets only have 4 less wins than the Yankees. Isn't that right?
True.
60?
I believe so.
To 64?
Yankees still, I believe, are the best team in baseball by record. 66. No, they're 66 and 32.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Mets are 6 wins behind them.
That's a lot.
But we also, the Yankees, I know how good they've been, and I know what their record is. I know they're the best team in baseball right now, but we have to talk about the July they've been having. They have severely cooled off. I have some stats to get to when we come back from the break right here on Sports Time with Gabe and Stats.
You have opinions?
You bet.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255. 360-8255.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with all the hottest brands in golf at the best prices featuring tailor-made stealth carbon woods and irons. Callaway's Rogue ST collection of woods and irons, Titleist's T-Series irons and Vokey wedges, and Ping's G425 woods and irons. All this and more at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Swing by and receive a free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Make sure to stop by 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill for the best home-cooked lunches around Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Meatloaf, baked chicken, catfish, and more, along with yummy veggies. Plus a great brunch on weekends from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. They have plenty of TVs to watch sports, and they have live entertainment on the weekends. Join them on Sundays for Left Turn Sunday NASCAR watch parties with beer and food specials. 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill, voted the #1 sports bar in DeSoto County. Getwell Road, South Haven.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Is your air conditioning system struggling to keep up this summer? It may just need a tune-up. Good news, it's super tune-up time at Conway Services. We'll come out and perform our 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-up on your air conditioning system for only $69. And if you have an air conditioner that leaks Freon every year, we'll include a leak check at no charge.
License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Hey Patriots, Colin Johnston here from DeSoto Auto Sales. And it's time to put the can in American, because this month I can help you get approved. It's the 4th of July all month long. That means it's time to break free from past credit mishaps. Even if you've been told no in the past credit problems are no problem for us. I want to help you break free in a nicer, newer car, because I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. That's why I drafted my For the People credit approval process. Plus, my solution specialists are the American Dream Team. They can get almost anyone approved. So stop driving a car you hate, because I want you to be approved and find freedom in a nicer, newer car today. You could even drive for little to no money down. But hurry, this dynamite deal won't last long. I'm Colin Johnston, your All-American dealer for the people. New rides are popping on the lot daily. See all my explosive rides at DeSotoAutoSales.com. That's DESOTO Autosales.com.
Credit and down payment require bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely expires on July 31st, 2022.
How do you grow your business without spending more on credit card fees? Call Blake Jones, your local Mid-South Advanced Merchant Services representative. He works with your business to help it grow instantly. Small business owners already have enough cost. Let Blake Jones help you lower your credit card processing cost risk-free. Absolutely no cost to you, the small business owner. Call 662-408-9324. That's 662-408-9324. Call Blake Jones today and start saving money tomorrow.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
I couldn't believe it either, but that thing runs like new.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
My nail tech knows how to keep it a little secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV. Walk around with my chest out of my
30 minutes left in today's show. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He is Stats. Brian Dakes, of course, is producing the program. Hit us up. AutoZone listener line is there for 30 more minutes today. 901-360-8255. Get in the zone. AutoZone, you can also message us on our social, Sports56 WHBQ, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Now, Subway Series Game 1 was last night, and the Mets handled business. Won 6-3. Taijuan Walker had a pretty good outing. The Mets ended up chasing Jordan Montgomery really early, and I'll tell you about the stat here in a second when it comes to the Yankees pitching. It just has not been as good in July. Did you guys see in the top of the fourth, though? Do you guys get to catch a game on TBS?
I saw most of it.
I didn't. I was at AutoZone, and I just saw, just passing by.
Brian, did you see the Rizzo decision? At the top of the fourth, he swung.
I don't think
bases
I did.
loaded, swung on 3-0 after Taijuan Walker had thrown 7 straight balls, flies out to deep left center. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, he almost hit a grand slam. He was very, very close. But that ended up being one of the turning points in the game, as the Mets ended up going on to win pretty easily thereafter. Now, the Yankees, we know from April to June how good they've been. They were 56-21 before they got to July. In July, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention and seeing exactly what their record is. They are 10-11 in July. They have cooled off drastically, and part of that is pitching. Their ERA from April to June was 2.92. Nestor Cortez, Jordan Montgomery, Jameson Tylant. Didn't matter who you threw out there. They were really delivering. It was 2.92 April to June, 4.08 in July, and their opponent batting average too has gone up. And that has to do with pitching. 212 April to June, 238 in July. They have slowed down drastically.
The rare trying to play the other side defense of the Yankees, and I don't know if I really believe any of what I'm getting ready to say. How much can we write off to 11 up in the loss column and a little bit of on cruise?
I think you could do that. And coming out of the All-Star break, there's an excuse to be made there, and going into the All-Star
Aaron
break,
Boone's trying to sell what I'm just said.
There's an excuse to be made there, but also at the same time, the more that the rest of Major League Baseball sees your pitching, the more they're going to have a beat on it. And what we're seeing from April to June, and then once you get out of that, and also just historically, you look at there's some great first half pitchers. There's some great pitchers all the way up into the All-Star break that just seem to fall off a cliff the back half of the season. Well, not even the back half, but the back part of the season after the All-Star break. And I think you've seen a little bit of that with the Yankees. But they're having their issues. We understand 66 and 32 is nothing to sneeze at. They're the best team in baseball.
Get everybody's best shot.
I get it, but this is not a time that you want to slow down if you're the best team in baseball. You want to go into the playoffs, and you want to play this back part of your schedule. You want to go into the playoffs on a high note.
We've seen it with good Cardinal teams. Sometimes it's hard to turn back on that sharp switch.
Yep, it is. You don't want to turn it off. Like I get so sick of that too. Because it's so hard to get yourself back into the mode that you were early in the season when you were playing your best ball.
But the Yankees have known since April 1st they were going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I get it. Now, also
that division though, can you believe looking at that division and seeing the
Red Sox
27th of July, Boston in last and Drew Barrett's Orioles in next to last, not in last anymore for those. One over 500.
I'm amazed that the Red Sox are in dead last. They have no business.
Stunning.
They have no business.
Compare those payrolls.
Well, not even the pay. Just look at their roster. Just look at who's in their lineups. They have no business. I get that, but they have no business being as bad as they are. And I understand the pitching rotation for the Red Sox has been bad for a while, and they just don't have anybody they can rely on.
17 out of first.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
And the talk of them being sellers.
I think it's very legitimate. Who are they going to – I mean, I guess they could turn it on here soon and make something happen. But
did you see Big Poppy's last night with his number being retired?
That was cool for him. That was great for him.
Love Poppy.
But, do you even buy that the Red Sox, with who's ahead of them, are really going to be able to just catch them? The Blue Jays are great. The Rays are the Rays. I'm not buying that the Red Sox are just going to magically figure themselves out.
And I said it when I saw him in person. I say it every time I see George Springer play. Boy, I'd love to watch him play every day. Mm-hmm. What he does in that leadoff slot, what he does in the outfield defensively. Now he strikes out a lot. He's a pretty free swinger, but when he gets into it. And he got into a big grand slam last night for the Blue Jays.
He did have it. Well, in the Cardinals also. That was pitiful. That really was pitiful.
Wasn't it?
I hated why I couldn't do it.
It was on where I was at AutoZone Park, and I couldn't even turn around and try to watch. I averted my eyes.
At first, Carlson had a good night last night, but and Albert drove in a run to tie it at 3-3, and you thought, okay,
I knew it wouldn't last.
Maybe there was a chance, but then you get to that sixth inning, it just got
Junior Hernandez
busted. It got busted by Junior Fernandez, right?
Fernandez. What did I say?
You said Hernandez.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
but Junior Fernandez.
Junior Fernandez. That's all you got to say about it.
That's it.
But to think.
Who's he going to get out, Bryant? We know.
No,
not AAA players.
I also am just seeing 3, 4, 5 in the lineup last night. That's disgusting. Brett, that's so gross. Tyler O'Neill,
I meant to get this with Kevin.
Albert Pujols, and then Brendan Donovan, 3, 4, 5. That's nasty.
And I meant to get this with Kevin Wheeler. Here's one defense of year one of Ollie Marmol as a manager. Look what he's been handed. He doesn't have a lot to fight with.
I've tried to say this to some people, and some people, I mean, and I understand why there's some out there in Cardinals fandom, Cardinals media that are a little bit on Ollie Marmol, because the reason he got the job, Mike Schilt, it's kind of tough to what he did last year to sort of put the Cardinals into the playoffs and give them a chance to make a run there at the end was substantial. I think people like Mike Schilt, and to see him out the
Got
door,
to the LCS
a lot
in
of
2019.
people, and a lot of people are kind of annoyed by the fact that the way it ended with Mike Schilt, so they hold it against Ollie Marmol. I get that part of it, but Ollie has not had much of a shot with the roster he's been given. You thought Jack Flaherty was going to come back, never showed up. And there was a time when we were, when the first hot stove rumors come out, when we talk about the trade deadline, you were saying, hey, well, they get Jack Flaherty back, that's better than anything they can get on the open market. It looks like we're never going to see him come back. And if he does, I
don't think he comes back as a Cardinal. I think he won't. He has been very outspoken about he wants to pitch in Los Angeles, and he may. Have y'all noticed on the trade, in a lot of trade rumors, Shohei Ohtani's name being thrown around?
I have yet to see those. Can you guys fill me in, please?
Oh, yeah, they're out there, Gabe. And
why in the world?
I think the harvest it can reap.
That's so dumb, though. If you're the Angels and you haven't been in the playoffs, and no matter what you've done, like no matter what strings you've pulled, you can't get into the playoffs. It's just sort of what it's been. Why wouldn't you want Shohei on your roster at least to put butts in the seats?
For any restart, you would want him.
Any team.
Brian, who's the leader for him?
I haven't seen a lot of leaders because I don't think he's going to be moved this deadline. I think he will be moved just because I don't think the Angels can pay him what he's going to be worth in free agency. I've seen I can't remember who I saw exactly. I saw
Ohtani in St. Louis wearing number 17.
I got to be honest.
I saw the Mets.
Enos Slaughter's retired 17.
Going to the Mets.
But
would be ridiculous.
Him in a big market would be cool, though. And he's in a big market, but he's not with the big market.
He'd be great for baseball.
He's not in the big market.
That we're up for, that we're awake for.
If I'm the Angels, I am literally riding that to the end, to the bitter end, till he has to leave. I'm not trading him. I
make him the owner.
Seriously, if I'm the Angels, he's the only reason that team, and I know Mike Trout's on that team, but still, he's one of the only reasons that team has been relevant the past 2 years. Because on the field, it's been awful. So I would ride it out to the bitter end if I was the Angels. I don't know why you'd try to make a move right this second.
I would too. I know people are thinking about dinner plans right now. Keep Jason's Deli in mind. Any of these great locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova on this hot day and night. Wrap it up in those locations with the complimentary free ice cream, all the great salads, something refreshing for you right now, not very heavy on these hot days like the Mesa chicken salad, the chicken club salad, my favorite, the taco salad. And for any meal, all those breakfast boxes, all the lunch meals, the dinner meals, and at dinner time for all the stuff you can get from Jason's Deli catered, you'll get all the different trays like the beef slider tray, so good, the fresh fruit tray for this hot weather, and that assorted dessert tray with all the fresh baked cookies and fudge nut brownies, all at Jason's Deli, whether it's 5 or 5,000. A couple of the beginning back-to-school things. I know a lot of in-service for teachers. That would be a good idea to order from Jason's Deli for a lot of symposiums and gatherings we're having to kick off the school year. For the sports teams out there, for a break during football practice, this would be perfect. Let Jason's Deli, let them do all the catering for you. 5 or 5,000, they have it covered for any meal. Catering anytime, anywhere, and in these locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova, that great salad bar. Over 30 items to choose from there. Check out all this online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
All right, y'all ready for a trade suggestion from Yahoo Sports, Juan Soto Cardinals deal? You ready for it? It's from Yahoo Sports. Cardinals get Juan Soto.
I'm ready.
Nats get Tyler O'Neill, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, Matt Liberatore, and Alec Willis.
I'll rent a vehicle and drive them from St. Louis.
Automatic yes. To
D.C.
Now, the Nationals, though, have been discussing wanting to add Patrick Corbin into a deal to get a bigger return. And I don't know, would you add Dylan Carlson in there in that conversation? But anyway, if you get Juan Soto in your building,
I wouldn't add Dylan Carlson to that for Patrick Corbin unless they pony up to pay most of his contract.
Well,
he's been the worst pitcher in baseball this year, and that's why they want to.
Are we worried about money?
Because that's why they want to get rid of him.
Throwing in my Mega Millions.
I wouldn't add him for that.
If they ask for it, are you?
If they pay for
so
half
if you
of his
had
salary,
Dylan,
then yeah, I'd
if
do
you
it.
had Dylan
but if they're not
Carlson,
going to pay his salary, I'm not doing that deal.
Right, understood.
Who are those names? Who in those names we look back in 5 years?
Jordan Walker.
And they really burn you. Yeah,
Jordan Walker. Yeah, and I like Matt Liberatore. I think he can be a major league pitcher.
I'm wearing thin on him.
I just don't. He's not a power guy. I think he could eat up innings for somebody potentially. But I mean, he's not Jordan Walker level of talent. Not even close. And Nolan Gorman, I like, but he has slowed down drastically. I just think he's got some pop in that bat, and that's definitely valued these days.
And I said,
Jordan Walker.
When
Jordan
they called him up, where are you going to put Gorman and hide him defensively? He can't DH every night.
Well, I mean, he can theoretically. If somebody has an opening for him.
Well, not every night against lefties.
Right.
I don't think you would,
Okay,
especially this early in his career.
No,
but I mean, theoretically, you could.
But to answer your question, it's not Tyler O'Neill, and you know what? I hate that I've been right about Tyler O'Neill after last year. I really do. I called this. I had a feeling that he would fall off in a way, and he has, and he's been hurt. So there's some caveats there. But to answer your question, it's Jordan Walker all the way. And what he's been doing, when are they going to bring it? When are they going to give him that call up?
We may never see.
Whenever he gets to Washington.
You think immediately, as soon as he gets into the Nationals organization?
To AAA, yeah.
Straight up to AAA?
Yeah.
I guess
they're about to pull him up here, I'm sure.
I said it with Kevin Wheeler. Paul DeYoung got into one last night.
Yeah.
It's his 16th since getting here.
Yeah, but he's still hitting 240. That's rough.
Well, but you've got to take into consideration
and
that
he's hitting 300.
Well, but you still got to take into consideration that he was batting like 105 after like 4 weeks here. So I mean, he's had to bring that up. He's brought that up a lot.
I get it. But it's still a far cry from what they thought he was going to be. Last thing before we get to our final break of the day, Brian Snitker. Shout out to Brian Snitker. Gets his 500th win last night. Did you see what he said after the game, Brian?
No, I don't think I did.
He said, if I coach for 20, if I manage for 20 more years, maybe I can catch Bobby. Talking about Bobby Cox.
Maybe
25.
Yeah, I don't. If you win a lot, sure.
Maybe 25 more years to catch Bobby. Bobby won a lot of games. Let's go ahead and get to our final break. When we come back, Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5S Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5S Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials deals, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Hey, Jeff Allen, could things get any hotter in Memphis? Summer's here and I'm ready for a road trip.
Then come see me at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah, where the deals are hotter than the weather. 2022 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, and a 2023 Kia Soul LX, $248 a month. Both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing.
Hey, Jeff, I got to bring the family.
You need 3 rows and 7-passenger seating. 2022 Kia Sorento LX, $339, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 per year, 26 excess mileage, 0 security deposit, Forte NE 492,084, MSRP 21,065, sold P718,7730, MSRP 21,720, Sorento NG 137,060, MSRP 32,595. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Kia. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/122. Dealer stock only.
Make the most of the open road with a 2022 Can-Am Spyder from Olive Branch Motorsports. This stylish 3-wheel touring motorcycle is the pinnacle of luxury touring with a modern look, premium comfort, extra storage, and next-level convenience. All designed so you and your passenger can put more distance between stops. The Can-Am Spyder is all about performance, comfort, and sophistication, giving you the ultimate riding experience. See the 2022 Can-Am Spyder today at Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully, because now there are new regenerative treatments available here. Hi, this is Greg Gaston. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, is now open, giving lasting relief to people with joint pain, using the latest in precision medicine with natural biologics. It's an exciting non-surgical approach that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints and get you moving again. QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics nationwide and has treated thousands of patients with an incredible success and satisfaction rate. If you've got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, you need to check out these new treatments. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, no surgery. Call now to schedule your free consultation with the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
You drove it, you love it. What more do you need to know?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream,
and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Brett, what I learned today is the pride of Olive Branch High School, a relatively local kid, KJ Wright, signed a one-day with the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously was there for their Super Bowl and their Legion of Boom days, but he's going to retire with them. So that's really cool to see, and really cool to see the Seahawks organization really embrace him that way.
Mm-hmm. And there will be a debate about a lot of those vintage Seahawk players to have numbers retired. I think his could be in there. We know some of them that will. That was that Legion of Boom. That was some defensive teams, and they should have won it twice.
Yep,
should have had 2 Super Bowls out of it. I learned today a couple of college football teams already practicing for the Week 0 games, and everybody will be by this time next week. It's hot everywhere. Be safe. It's so enjoyable and informative to watch NFL Network bounce around from camp to camp. And I'll say it again, that look on Jerry Jones, I've never seen him look that desperate.
Mm-hmm. Understood. What I could have done with that a couple of things. Flash floods in St. Louis last night. Did you see that? That looked terrible. St. Peter's, U-City, the Arch Museum had to be closed down because of flooding. They shut off parts of 64 and 44.
It looked like the Colorado River.
Did you hear that it's obviously a record for rain on that day? 10 inches of rain. That's insane at this moment.
In about 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's probably awful there today as far as the humidity and everything else. Oh, my, I couldn't even imagine.
It can do it, but yeah,
I can't imagine.
That looked terrifying. Last night looked like the Colorado River in the streets of St. Louis.
Yeah, it did. Also, what I could have done without, and obviously I want to see Brittany Griner come home, but the U.S. government has finally put in a proposal on the table aimed to get Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan home. Paul Whelan's a former Marine who was accused of spying in Russia in 2018 and has been jailed since, but they're trying to trade him for Victor Bout, who is a notable arms dealer, proclaimed by a lot of countries a terrorist, and they are trying to negotiate a settlement to try to send Victor Bout back on his way to Russia. He's known as the Merchant of Death. So we'll see how this goes, but just a terrible situation.
Like a friendly
all
sword.
around. He's not.
Bring Brittany Griner home. Bring Paul Whelan home as well. Could have done without this. Do you know Tyler O'Neill has the same number of home runs this year as Albert Pujols?
Wow.
You were so right last year.
I don't know what to say, and I hate it.
I said he was breaking into superstardom.
I hate it. And he was what? He was like top 5, shortest odds to win MVP this year.
No, it's been bad.
And I haven't.
Last night was horrible.
And I have not heard
in Toronto.
He was 0 for 5. I haven't heard any of the St. Louis radio shows talk about him yet, but I imagine he's getting the worst of it. I
listened to the post game show driving home last night, and I mean lit up.
Yes. And
because you know how we are, we're spoiled rotten.
Well, but also you can't hit 220 when you're expected to be an MVP. It's just kind of how it goes. And also, he's due to get paid, right? He's due to get paid. He's supposed to get paid after this year, and that might be flushed down the toilet.
When does Live Golf break out their next big stunner, their next big player announcement? I think it'll be after the Tour Championship.
You said that with John. What names do you expect?
I think almost any of them are in play, Gabe. Like, even some that have said never.
Are you talking like Rory? Are you talking about those type of names?
I won't say that, but it feels like everybody's reconsidering offers. Money talks.
It does. It definitely does talk. Now, I guess we'll see where it takes us. What I'm looking forward to tonight, Cardinals, Blue Jays. Cardinals need to do something. Last night was pitiful. Wainwright is on the mound. He hadn't been that great lately, but he's going against Kevin Gausman. See what can happen there. Obviously, Game 2 as well of the Subway Series.
And it's Matt Scherzer's birthday.
It's what?
Yes, it
Scherzer's birthday. So use that knowledge to however you want to. I already used it, so
Orioles, Rays, and the battle for Gotham in Queens. Good stuff.
Hey, money line or run line, Brian?
I took pitcher props for sure.
Oh, okay. But that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Alex Kuhn, John Goen, and Kevin Wheeler for their contributions to the show. For Brett, for Brian, I'm Gabe. Enjoy your night and be safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow.